COVID mandate. Fox's Evan Brown live in Broward County.
Yeah, Dave, Florida's state education officials will be penalizing 8 county school districts following a vote Thursday for their forcing students to wear masks against the orders of Governor Ron DeSantis. One of those districts is Miami-Dade. Alberto Carvalho is the superintendent.
The law allows parents to make decisions about their own child, but does not afford the right to harm another.
Though the state now says they can and will withhold funding from these districts. Earlier this week, the state docked the Broward County school system more than $420,000, Dave.
Evan, the Senate voted last night to raise the debt limit, nearly $500 billion, enough to get us to December.
Republicans played a dangerous and risky partisan game.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Now, some Republicans are not happy with the deal the House will vote on Tuesday. Senator Lindsey Graham tells Fox.
We had a process in place. We made a promise for 2 months that we would make them do it without our help, and we folded, and I hate that.
2 journalists are sharing the Nobel Peace Prize handed out this morning. Maria Ressa, who operates a news site in the Philippines, and Dmitry Muratov, editor of an independent newspaper in Russia. They were honored for their work safeguarding freedom of expression. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, when the news channels start using terms like quantitative easing and now tapering a lot, you know there's trouble ahead. What does it mean? Well, despite everything you hear, it just means less money in your pocket, fewer dollars to spend. Everything costs more. Food, gas, utilities, all going up. Does anything cost less than last year? It's bad enough if you're young, but if you're close to retirement, it could be a disaster for your savings. A gold or silver IRA or 401k with Noble Gold will solve this inflation problem for good. And they're giving away a free 5-ounce solid silver America the Beautiful bullion coin with each qualifying plan you start this month as a thank you. Not bad, huh? The best part? You'll speak to an expert. No hassle, no pressure, just a look at your options and what you can do to stop the Fed stealing your hard-earned money. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com or call us at 877-646-5347.
And now, award-winning news coverage with Brian Hauswirth on 93.9 The Eagle and 93.9theeagle.com.
93.9 The Eagle News Time with Robinson's Cleaners. It is 6:03 and Robinson saves you time. 59 right now in Columbia. It's 58 degrees in Jefferson City. We're expecting a high today of around 83. Mostly sunny skies. Tonight for high school football, mostly clear, low 63. Tomorrow for Learfield, Columbia, Mizzou football, sunny and a high of 90 degrees. Tomorrow is October the 9th. It's going to be a hot one. Good morning. Boone County commissioners have voted to remove the Sid Larson murals from the county courthouse downtown and to place them in a secure location. All 3 county commissioners agree the murals should be removed. However, Presiding Commissioner Dan Atwell's plan to store them on county property and to include historical information was rejected. A frustrated Atwell spoke to 93.9 The Eagle after the votes.
I know the people who were involved with this, and they were good people. They were well-intentioned. And this leaves a stain that people looking at this quickly will potentially see in regard to those people who are deceased.
The murals show lynching as well as whippings, but they also feature pianist Blind Boone. Commissioner Janet Thompson's motion to move the murals to a secure non-county location has been approved. She says the county is not in the art preservation business. Mr. Atwell tells the Eagle the murals will be moved soon, but he doesn't have an exact date. Mizzou's football team will battle North Texas tomorrow. 110th homecoming game in Columbia. Kickoff set for 3 at Faurot Field. Temperatures will be approaching 90 degrees. Thousands of people already in town for homecoming. The popular house deck event is tonight in Greektown. There's also a campus blood drive. And don't forget tomorrow morning's 9 a.m. homecoming parade. My Wake Up Columbia colleagues, Branden Rathert and Stephanie Bell, will be emceeing tomorrow morning's parade. Today is your opportunity to see plans about Columbia Regional Airport's proposed parking lot expansion. Interested parties meeting will take place from 3 to 4 today at City Hall. The project will provide an additional 93 parking spaces to accommodate accommodate growth from the new $23 million terminal project that is now under construction. Project cost for the parking lot expansion, $551,000. It's being paid for by enterprise revenue as well as transportation sales tax. State officials are warning you this morning about scammers. They've been calling Missourians and Texas residents, and they make the calls appear to be coming from Capitol Police in Jefferson City. Capitol Police say it's a scam known as spoofing. It's used to obtain personal information from you. They are urging you to not answer any calls from unknown numbers. Don't provide your Social Security number or credit card numbers to people who call you. They have received at least 25 calls in the last day or so, and they're expecting some more. So, if you receive these calls, you're urged to hang up immediately. Jefferson City Police say there was no active shooter Thursday. A housing complex that has many elderly and disabled residents. A 54-year-old man admits he started a fire in his apartment, then called 911, told the operator there was an active shooter in the complex's 9th floor. He is facing charges of making a terroristic threat. And more than 330,000 people attended the Missouri State Fair in Sedalia in August. Governor Parson says State Fair commissioners, staff, vendors, exhibitors, everyone should be proud of their efforts to make the fair a success. The governor notes agriculture is Missouri's top economic driver. 93.9 The Eagle News is brought to you by AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning, ensuring the air in which you live and breathe is comfortable and clean. AirServe.com. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 6:06. In sports, the Missouri Tigers will play the North Texas Mean Green. That'll be tomorrow afternoon, homecoming at Faurot Field. We'll kick it off at 3:01 in the afternoon. It's going to be a hot one at Faurot. The Tigers 2-3. They're coming off a tough 62-24 loss to Tennessee. North Texas plays in Conference USA. They're 1-3. Their coach, Seth Luttrell. Again, that kickoff tomorrow at 3:01. Mizzou trying to get their third win of the year. Our sports is brought to you this morning by the Callaway Bank. The Callaway Bank is with you for the moments that matter. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 6:07. Kevin, thank you. Great work as always. Weather is brought to you by the Callaway Bank as well. 59 degrees.
Eagle Eye Traffic.
608. MidmoHires.com provides our traffic check. Local companies looking for local people. And we're not seeing anything right now to report in terms of traffic issues, not seeing anything or hearing anything as well from Joint Communications. However, we want to remind everyone, 8 to 9 this morning, those of you on Rock Quarry Road, it's kind of a rough area anyway, hard to see around all the trees. Lots of vegetation problems. They're going to have equipment up and down that road. They'll be working all day. So either avoid that area or give yourself extra time because it'll take you a while to get through that. That'll take place all day. They'll start setting up the equipment at 8 this morning. More team coverage in less than 30 minutes and breaking news immediately. I'm Brian Hauswirth, 93.9 The Eagle.
Capitalize on this. So let's go, Branden. There are explainers all over the internet. The Let's Go Branden meme has taken over the internet. Let's Go Branden, Know Your Meme from knowyourmeme.com. Even overseas, check out this explainer from this is a news site based in England. On Saturday, October 2nd, American professional racing car driver. You can tell it's England. We would just say race car driver, a NASCAR driver. Right. Professional racing car driver Branden Brown won his first ever NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Took the top spot. Following the race, he did an interview with NBC, which is where things all went wrong. Is it whilst or whilst? WHILST.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know the correct pronunciation on that.
Let's ask our college kid, Hannah.
Hold up, I'm working on it.
I know the answer. It's on Google. Whilst Branden spoke to the NBC reporter, he was unaware that something was brewing in the background. And, of course, it goes on to the whole thing where people are chatting F. Joe Biden. And the reporter, this is interesting. I saw Ted Cruz yesterday. People are lambasting this reporter. Kind of gives you an idea sometimes how out of touch and how old of a white guy Ted Cruz is. And we're not very different in age, by the way.
Whilst.
So it's whilst. Whilst Branden spoke to the NBC reporter. So it's whilst, not whilst. Like Ted Cruz on the TV yesterday. And see, this reporter, and what she did, no, Ted, I know everybody else on the right that's criticizing this reporter, she's on live TV. The crowd is chanting F. Joe Biden, as we're seeing at sports venues all across America. That's how much disdain there is, even from people that voted for Joe. She covers it up. She's not trying to put a slant on anything. Do you think she's going to repeat? And you can hear in the background, the crowd is saying Joe Biden. She's not going to say that on live TV. And I wish people like Ted Cruz would get this and understand this. And Ted Cruz, when he gets out, I like a lot of Ted Cruz's ideas and ideology, but he shows his old man white-ish knowledge of things there. Well, this reporter, you see, that shows the perfect. That's fake news. She lied on. No, Ted. She wasn't doing that. She was very professional in the moment, covering up foul language on live TV.
She was trying to save her butt like we all would have done in her situation.
Right. It was superb. So quit knocking this woman. Old white dudes, one of which I am.
And the internet now has a beautiful new meme.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, because of this. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Again, old white guy not following where Hannah's going with this.
Come on, Rathert. It's 6:14 in the morning. You need to wake up.
Man, it is a feel-good Friday. What are you grateful for? Text us 874-9390. So there's explainers all over the internet. And this is what happened. And we were highlighting this Monday here on the show, even before it really became a big thing.
You can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Branden. You told me you were going to kind of hang back.
She's not trying to cover that up. She's not doing slant. So I'm just told, when you guys talk about this at work today, she did a great job. That's the story.
Here's the other thing is when you're trying to do a live interview of anything, especially with a crowd behind you, and it doesn't matter if they're yelling anything or if they're chanting MIZ, you're so focused on your interview. And again, I can't speak for this reporter. I do share what you're saying, by the way. She may not have even heard it correctly because she's focused on interviewing him. I mean, you're in the moment, you're trying, and I don't, I'm not sure I understand the criticism. And I just don't.
I think, as I'm recollecting from watching the video, I think she's wearing an earpiece, too.
Sure.
She's got a lot of things going on. She's not trying to slant anything. So now, let's go, Branden. There are shirts all over. We had a listener call the show yesterday. I bought some for the whole family. So you can buy these shirts that say, let's go, Branden. And so when you see a shirt that says, let's go, Branden, you know that it means...
Not let's go, Branden. I was going to ask, have you ordered yours yet? Have you purchased one?
I've asked somebody to buy one for me to get it.
Oh, of course.
Well, not to
of
pay.
Course.
I'll pay for it. I just don't want to get on the Amazon and do all that.
The Amazon,
That.
really?
Old white guy here.
What is it with older people adding the word "the" to unnecessary things?
Let me ask the Brian Hauswirth. The Brian, why do us old white dudes put "the" in front of everything?
Well, I don't have a real good answer on that.
and that's the proper response. I don't know. We just do. It's what we do.
And I'm really reluctant anyway to buy anything on the computer just because you worry about identity theft and stuff. That's for any site, and that's something to be, you have to be careful about.
I noticed you said the computers. I'm hesitant to buy anything on the computer. I'm hesitant to buy anything on computer.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you say "the," Hannah says you sound.
No, that's not what I said.
A couple old white guys and a very, very hip, very astute, conservative, independent thinker over there. That's Hannah, the producer. Brian Hauswirth. My name is Branden Rathert. So people are using this now. So they're saying. And I think it's going beyond not just distaste for Joe. Somebody's trying to criticize Joe Biden. People are saying, let's go, Branden. I think it's distaste for anything. Check this out. This is on Fox. Fox Television celebrating 25 years of existence. Fox News out yesterday and chatting with diners about why people watch Fox News.
And we know that when you watch Fox News, that's what you're going to get.
Well, hey, I watch Fox News because it's America. It's my America. It's a real station telling the real truth every day. And by the way, let's go, Branden.
It's becoming a thing. Yesterday, I went to the Boone County Commission meeting where, as expected, they voted to take down the murals. And I walked out and I went up to the two commissioners who voted in favor of removing the murals. And I said, let's go, Branden. Walked out the building.
Did you really?
No. But by the way, we need to get into this here real quickly. Interesting meeting. And no surprise. And let's not. Listen, it's frustrating. We have bigger things to hang our hats on, and that is education. They want to take the murals down. Okay. They base their decision on feelings, no facts at all. As a matter of fact, I heard one of the commissioners out in the hallway after the meeting talking, and I kid you not, this commissioner, in effect, said it was feelings. And I'm like, my goodness, you're saying this in public. Crazy. So the vote was 2-0.
2-0 with one abstention. Correct. And here's what it is, Brand. I'll try to sum this up as best I can. It is a little complex, and I do have a much more detailed story on 939theeagle.com. But in a nutshell, the murals, the vote was to take them down and to put them in a secure location, non-county secure location, which has not been determined yet. It won't be the county. The big debate, and really what got Dan Atwell frustrated, is he wanted them stored on county property until a time where they could be stored at basically a place that would display them, in his words, appropriately. The other thing he really pushed for that did not make it through was a historical, either a marker or some sort of basically a note in the record and there on the mural about what happened in 1994. And he had a lot of praise for people on both sides. In the end, that was rejected, and Janet Thompson and Mr. Allred said that the county is not in the art preservation business. That was their response.
So here's what I'm thinking. So, by the way, you're paying for this removal unless I don't know if there's anything underway to try to seek donations to pay somebody's, and I don't know if it'll be, I don't think it's employees, because this is a mural. This is art. This depicts history. You don't go in there with a chisel and just, yank it off the wall. How much do you think this costs for professionals to come in and remove it? And as Janet Thompson said in the meeting yesterday, Boone County, because Dan Atwell wanted to store it in a Boone County business, Janet Thompson said, and correctly, Boone County's not in the business of art, of curating art. Do you know how much it cost to curate that stuff? And you know who's going to pay for it, man.
Well, in answer to that, I did confirm with Mr. Atwell that you're absolutely right. It will not be county employees. They will have to bring in skilled employees, outside employees to take the mural down. They're still determining the cost. The cost has not been determined at this point. And Branden, Monday is a holiday, so what he told me for sure it wasn't yesterday. Seriously, doubt that they could get that done today because there's a lot of work. I'm thinking sometime next week at the earliest.
And by the way, and I want to cover this at 7:10, Dan Atwell, the presiding commissioner in Boone County, I even texted him after the meeting yesterday. He made some very powerful comments about political divisions and what's going on in a broader scope and what we see happening here in town, whether it's the mural or education. I thought he had some very powerful words. I want to share those with you coming up at 7:10 this morning. I want to welcome into the Wake Up Columbia family listener Dylan, listening this morning. New texter on the show this morning, Hannah.
Nice.
He's talking about old white guys like me and Brian when we say the Amazon, the Facebook. He says that's like when old white guys add in that before people's names of somebody they're not familiar with. You know, I saw that old Joe Bob down there at the market. I saw that, what's his face? Dylan, welcome into the family. Feelings is what they... By the way, we posted a picture reaction to the murals being removed on the Wake Up Columbia Facebook page. And we knew this was going to happen. Don't let it bring you down, man. It's a feel-good Friday.
Aw. That was beautiful. No, you're already late.
Wake Up Columbia with Branden Rathert.
I always get tongue-tied and shudder when I'm on the radio.
Hot Talk 93.9 The Eagle.
The reason people are so upset on social media right now is not because the Marine on the battlefield let someone down. That service member has always rose to the occasion, done extraordinary things. People are upset because their senior leaders let them down, and none of them are raising their hands and accepting accountability or saying, we messed this up.
Marine Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. Remember, he went viral after Joe Biden killed some of those service members because of the sloppy pullout in Afghanistan. The guy said, I'm going out and making these videos. I'm probably going to get in trouble, but I got to tell it like it is. That gets us into today's daily D.C. rundown. So Scheller, then in the brig. And I don't know. I've never been in the military. I'm an Air Force brat, both parents in the Air Force. What do you if you are military, if you're a veteran, what do you think about what this guy did? Because now, so he's been let go. He was let out of the brig earlier this week. However, he is facing 6 charges, contempt toward officials. So he's not being charged for what he said. He made those videos, then was ordered by those in charge to stop doing that, and he didn't stop doing it. He told the truth. If you're military, if you're a veteran, what do you think about that? So here's the charges: contempt toward officials, disrespect toward superior commissioned officers, disobeying, failure to obey orders, dereliction of duties, all that stuff. We think about him as we're all wearing red here today on Wake Up Columbia. I'm wearing red. Hannah's wearing red. We do it to remember everyone deployed. Also, the Republicans taking a cue from the Democrats. They are now eating their own party infighting after the temporary agreement on that debt limit ceiling. Your ABC 17 stats, your daily DC rundown on 93.9 The Eagle. ABC 17 storm track forecast. Sunny temps right about 90 all weekend long for homecoming weekend. It's 59. Weather brought to you by the Callaway Bank. A dedicated customer care team you can text or call 7 days a week. The Callaway Bank is with you for the moments that matter. Fox News is here. Joe's out selling more snake oil. And Brian Hauswirth. How come the vote on the murals in the courthouse wasn't unanimous? He has that story at 6:31.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. This year's Nobel Peace Prize is shared by 2 journalists.
Maria Ressa, who runs an investigative news website in the Philippines, and Dmitry Muratov, who edits an independent newspaper in Russia.
For their efforts to safeguard freedom of expression.
The chair of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, Berit Reiss-Andersen, said democracy and freedom of the press are facing increasingly adverse conditions.
Fox's Simon Owen. Some Florida school districts are losing some state funding for imposing mask mandates for coronavirus protection.
The Florida State Board of Education's approved a plan to deduct an amount equal to a month's pay from school board members in 8 counties. Governor Ron DeSantis has been saying parents should decide if their children will wear a mask to school.
Fox's Joe Nato. The Biden administration has said it would reimburse those sanctions, but Florida's education commissioner says he'll block that. America's listening to Fox News.
And now, award-winning news coverage with Brian Hauswirth on 93.9 The Eagle and 93.9theeagle.com.
93.9 The Eagle News Time with Robinson's Cleaners. Robinson saves you time. It is 6:31, 59 right now in Columbia. It's 57 degrees in Jefferson City. We're expecting a warm Friday. Sunny skies. Today's high 83. Tonight for high school football, clear skies, low near 63. Even warmer tomorrow, sunny and a high of 90 degrees, almost 90 again on Sunday. Good morning. Thousands of people will be in downtown Columbia for tomorrow morning's Mizzou homecoming parade. It'll start at 9 near Tiger Avenue and Rollins. It'll wind through downtown Columbia, ending on Cherry Street. You're urged to wear your best black and gold attire. Mizzou's homecoming dates back to 1911. Mizzou consistently has been recognized for having one of the largest and longest homecoming celebrations in the nation. And again, my 2 colleagues, Branden Rathert and Stephanie Bell, will be the MCs from Wake Up Columbia, the MCs of tomorrow morning's homecoming parade in downtown Columbia. Sid Larson murals will be removed soon from the Boone County Courthouse in Columbia. County commissioners voting 2-0 on Thursday to move them to a secure location. A frustrated presiding commissioner, Dan Atwell, abstained from the final vote because it did not include his language about the history of the mural's 1994 creation. He says the murals were created in 1994 with the cooperation of then-Judge Frank Conley, the State Historical Society director, and others. Former Judge Gary Oxenhandler led the effort to remove the murals. He says they have no place in the courthouse. He did testify Thursday. He was fine with adding language, saying the murals were welcomed in 1994, but the times have changed. A Jefferson City man is behind bars this morning. He allegedly called in an active shooter threat Thursday at the capital city's Jackson Street public housing complex.
When police arrived at the high-rise early Thursday morning, they found a complete tenant evacuation was underway, but there was no active shooter situation. Officers say 54-year-old Hankel Jones, who lived in the complex, had triggered a fire alarm by starting a fire in his apartment. The suspect then told police he called 911 and said there was an active shooter. He faces arson and terroristic threat charges. John Marsh, 93.9, The Eagle.
John, thank you. Missouri's governor describes the 2021 State Fair in Sedalia as a success, saying more than 330,000 people attended the fair to celebrate agriculture. Those August numbers coming just 1 year after the 2020 fair was canceled. A youth livestock-only fair was held. Governor says there were more than 23,000 show entries at this year's fair in Sedalia. MU Healthcare will be conducting a Sunday drive-through flu shot event. Fulton Sunday's event, 10 to 2. Fulton Family Health on Fairway. Anyone 6 months and older is eligible to get the shot. Attendees need to wear a mask and wear it when interacting with staff. MU Health will collect your insurance information, and they will bill your insurance for the flu shot as well. And one other quick note, obviously a lot of folks in downtown Columbia for the homecoming festivities. You will also see thousands of people in southern Boone County, the Hartsburg Pumpkin Festival taking place as well in southern Boone County. 93.9 The Eagle News is brought to you this hour by Mid-America Mortgage. Check out midamericamortgage.us and apply now for a loan on your dream home. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 6:35. In sports, the Missouri Tigers play the North Texas Mean Green tomorrow afternoon. Homecoming at Faurot Field in Columbia. Kickoff 3:01. Tigers are 2-3, coming off a tough 62-24 loss to Tennessee. North Texas plays in Conference USA. 1-3. Their most famous alum, and they've got several, NFL Hall of Famer Mean Joe Green. He's a Hall of Famer, 10-time Pro Bowler. He acquired that name because he played at North Texas. Mean Joe Green. 1946 is when he was born, and he is still alive today. NFL Hall of Famer. 93.9 The Eagle Sports is brought to you this hour by LaCrosse Lumber, the oldest, most reliable lumber and hardware company in the Midwest since 1873. LaCrosse Lumber, Grindstone in Columbia. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 6:35.
Eagle Eye Traffic.
And our traffic check, midmohires.com. Local companies looking for local people. Visit midmohires.com, find a job, or post your job opening today. There will be work starting here in about right around 90 minutes at up and down Rock Quarry Road. They're going to be removing vegetation up and down that road because it is blocking the visibility for the drivers. So you're urged to avoid that area if at all possible today. But if you are in the area, give yourself extra time. They're going to have a lot of equipment out there removing trees, stumps, vegetation as well. If you want to report a traffic issue, call or text us 573-874-9390. More team coverage in less than 30 minutes. Breaking news immediately. I'm Brian Hauswirth, 93.9 The Eagle.
Who else is getting older, man? Like the Eagles. Eagles getting old. This is what they're going to sing right here.
Day. And if you walk up to the entrance, it's where you'll hear me say, I'm
this is not intentional. Our intent was not to make fun of old white guys like us all morning, but I wanted to highlight that because I was excited. I think, Hannah, this is something we've covered on the show before. Like if, let's say we played for the St. Louis Cardinals or the Kansas City Royals, the batters, whenever they get up to the plate, they have their walk-up music. It's a song they've picked out for the PA guy to run, so it's a song they walk up to the plate. It gets them pumped out. I have my playlist on my phone when I'm working out. I have my music. But I'm wondering, do we need to be picking out different motivational music? How much does motivational music work? I want to bring in Dr. Randy Johns, healthy living expert. Dr. Johns, glad you could be here. How important, first of all, and seriously, when it comes to working out, staying active, how important do you think good music is?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. Good morning, everybody. I can tell you this. I don't go to the gym without my headphones, and I've got some house music queued up and ready to go.
House music? Because, you mean like the rave music?
Yeah, like,
nice.
Hey, from Chicago down under, man, the good stuff, that beat, that frequency. I'm telling you, that's what we are. We're energy, we're cells, we vibrate, and those frequencies completely get me fired up to go into the gym.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Johns. How old are you?
47.
47, and you listen to some of the club rave music. But you know what? Here's the thing. So when I'm working out and I pull up music on my phone, it may not be music that I'm familiar with, but you're right. It's just kind of that beat, that thumping. And I think about the people in the classes at the gym, whether it's those bike classes, whatever it is they're doing. I don't know any of that music, but it's awesome. And it gets me in the mood. What is the thing, really, from a doctor's point of view, what is it about music that inspires us, whether it's to feel happy or to feel like I'm going to go kick my butt and work out like a freak today? What's the connection?
Yeah, I think there's several connections there. I can tell you, I even remember, I'll date myself. Of course, I just revealed 47. Remember back in PE class, back in elementary school, they would play the song Rockin' Robin. And I just remember as a kid getting so excited and fired up and motivated. So I think music can be nostalgic. It can take you back to good memories, childhood memories, family events, maybe a special time in your life. You know, think about, there's songs attached almost to everything. Even, if you got married, there was probably a special song or maybe that first date. So I think music can really bring you back to that. And then I just recently went through a Tony Robbins event, which I thought was just incredibly powerful, probably one of the most, leading influential motivational speakers of our time. And Tony uses music not only to change the frequency, because remember, we are cells, we vibrate, we feed off that for life. He uses it for breakthrough, for motivation, and for energy. And all during his sessions and seminars, he'll start playing a song, and almost always it's going to be upbeat. He's not usually playing Adele or Lionel Richie, which I love them. He's playing something that's got some real powerful frequency to it. And I think that is the science, is that something that connects to you not only physically, but emotionally. I think that is where the real motivation comes from.
Here, by the way, our guest is Dr. Randy Johns, healthy living expert. The connection to the music that you use while you're working out or walking, and I absolutely, I get that. Music, it's a chronology of our life. Here's the song that I like to work out to, Doctor. You're working out?
That hasn't made my playlist just yet, but it's going to be added. That was incredible.
So what are some tips that you can give? Because and this is a true story. I was sharing with Hannah, the producer, earlier this morning. I went to the gym yesterday after work and was all excited. I'm like, I don't even have to go home and change. I got all my stuff in my bag. I get in the locker room. I change everything. I didn't have my tennis shoes, and I couldn't work out in flip-flops. But also, if I get into the gym and for some reason, if I don't have my headphones to plug into my phone, I won't go to the gym. I won't. I cannot do without it. What are some tips you might offer to some people? when I go out and walk or when I go to the gym or even cleaning house or whatever? What would be some tips that you would offer?
Yeah, I can resonate with that. I couldn't find my headphones the other day, and I was going to the gym, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So what I did, I didn't have my headphones. So what I did is I literally I turned on YouTube. I put on my favorite tracks. I cranked it up, and I just got myself in state. If that makes any sense. So I had to change, and I had to change my state by listening to one of these songs that really inspired me, and then I was able to get the motivation to go to the gym. So I think motivation can really come and go. You just really need to be inspired. So if you don't have music available, if you forget your headphones, I think looking to why you're working out and having inspiration behind why you go. So for me, one of my goals is I want to live to be 100 years old, and I probably won't make it. You know what? Let's just be honest. I
like the honesty.
But, yeah, let's just be honest. But you know what? If I died at 84 years old at a great weight with no arthritis and an active body that took the time daily to put those things in, I can live right with that. And I think it's too important, especially I think we've lost a lot of this in conversation. Over the last year or two, it's been so centered on treating conditions versus really doing the things that create robust health and strong immune function. And exercise is a key piece of that. And it's free. You don't have to join a gym. Like you said, go for a walk. I don't know where you guys are or where you live. We're in Texas. We got some great, great weather out here, but just getting your body moving and and it doesn't have to even be every day. I think I work out less now in my 40s even than I did in my 20s, and I'm in just as good a shape. And I think sometimes we can even overdo it. So just the consistency is the key.
Well, good luck living to 100 if you're working out less. Dr. Randy Johns, healthy living expert. Thanks so much for joining us on a Feel Good Friday on 93.9 The Eagle in Columbia, Missouri. We appreciate you, bud.
Thanks, Missouri. Happy, healthy Friday.
All right. That was my cue to bug him because, Mizzou homecoming this weekend. Stephanie and I are going to be emceeing the parade. Mizzou football tomorrow. They're taking on North Texas. He didn't know he was on at the home of Mizzou. Should have done it. Robin checking in via text 874-9390. She says, when I walk, I listen to the 80s. Big hair bands. I like that. Miles says, I'm 47 and I listen to house music before I work out. Or Pantera. Hannah, you're working around the house, you're doing something. What are you listening to?
I have a playlist from middle school that's like angsty, emo, like alt-rock music. So like My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, Mayday Parade, like that kind of stuff. That's kind of my go-to.
All right. I like it. Maybe you'll play a sample for us of what emo music is when we come back here at 6:50?
If I can find a clean song.
Hey, I want to highlight something. Joe Manchin, he's wielding a lot of power in Washington D.C. anymore. Yesterday, he had a Branden Rathert moment.
Poor guy.
I know, right? And this goes back to something that happened last week that was caught for all of mid-Missouri to see on video. So what did Joe Manchin do? What was Joe Manchin?
Stay connected. Stay with Wake Up Columbia. Hot Talk 93.9 The Eagle.
Is this what you listen to if you're looking to get... Is this the emo music?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm good. Here's what people are saying on text this morning. Some of the things that they listen to. So we've got Robin, 80s hair band. I love this. Miles, 47 years old, listens to house music. Doc says, Branden, I figured you had Baby Shark on your playlist. Guess I was playing Baby Shark. That's like a dance club remix of Baby Shark.
It's extra terrible.
So yeah, people are responding. By the way, we are getting, I love this, new family member, Steve from Pilot Grove.
Another new one this morning?
We have 3 new family members this morning.
Wow, look at us go.
Steve from Pilot Grove.
Wow.
Says, basically, he's talking about the decision regarding the murals. He says, let's go, Branden. Tom Monroe. He wants to know, and by the way, Brian Hauswirth will have more on why this was not a unanimous vote yesterday regarding the murals in the Boone County Courthouse. Brian Hauswirth details why coming up at 7:03. Tom's asking who abstained from the vote. And said, here's who did it. And he says, let's go, Branden. Let's go, Branden, which is becoming in less than a week. Let's go, Branden. This is not about me, by the way. It happens to be the name of a race car driver, a NASCAR driver. Wins a race Sunday. And the crowd is chanting, as we're seeing in places, and I hope we don't see this tomorrow at the Mizzou homecoming game. Wouldn't that be amazing, though? I don't know how many fans will be there for homecoming. 75,000, 50,000, 35,000. Hard telling. But like every time the crowd at tomorrow's homecoming game yells, M-I-Z, they respond, let's go, Branden. 75,000 people shouting, let's go, Branden.
Now, you said you hope that doesn't happen, but I feel like you secretly do hope it happens.
I hope it doesn't happen. And it's becoming a thing. You can buy shirts now. So is what happened. The reporter, live TV, talking to Branden, this NASCAR driver. The crowd is chanting Joe Biden. She does a great job of covering it up. By the way, Ted Cruz doesn't know what he's talking about when he says, "Oh, see, this is fake news." She slanted it. No, she did a great job of covering up. She's on live TV. People are swearing. She covers it up, and now you can buy shirts. There's memes. It is all over the place. It's happening on live TV.
Fox News, because it's America. It's my America. It's the real station telling the real truth every day. And by the way, let's go, Branden. Okay, all right.
That's on live TV on Fox. Doc checking in this morning. His text, let's go, Branden. I like it.
Have we heard anything from our friend Gary this morning?
Yes.
What's Gary up to on a Feel Good Friday?
China issues dire. Well, Gary, the conspiracy theory guy, always sends us really bizarre stuff, and we have. I think he's being serious, and I'm not. Sends me, hey, check this out on BitChute. Here's proof that that spoons stick to your forehead if you've had the vaccine.
And he's like your biggest fan. He's very complimentary of you all the time.
Yeah, he calls me things like numbnuts and things like, hey, numbnuts, why don't you speak the truth? That's how he compliments me. I said, Gary, so he's texting something, China issues dire warning, World War III is going to happen soon. I said, Gary, what are you grateful for today? He says, lock up all parents in Gitmo. Okay. And listen, whatever you got, man. Seriously, we appreciate it. Charles is fixed. I don't want this to happen tomorrow, and I know it won't, but I don't want it the homecoming game. I don't want however many fans will be at this game tomorrow or at the parade. Stephanie and I are going to be emceeing somewhere along the route, we think, downtown.
Oh, that's right. What if you have to deal with, a crowd chanting obscenities?
Let's go, Branden. If people, and I don't think it'll happen, there'll be kids around, and I would like to think the people here of Missouri have more sense than to say Joe Biden in the middle of a parade. But I don't want people going, M-I-Z, let's go, Branden. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Charles is helping me out. M-I-Z, F-J-B. I hope that doesn't happen. And I don't think it will. Zach checking in this morning. His music when he's working out, when he's getting going. The Rocky theme, which we like to. As a matter of fact, we could feature another episode of Psaki v. Ducey because they keep going at it. And I love this. And by the way, Jen Psaki and P. Ducey from Fox, they have some great admiration for each other. So that's what Zach says he would do. It would be. Appreciate you listening. What do you feel good about? Let us know. 874-9390.
It's time for the Moment of the Day on Hot Talk 93.9 The Eagle.
Your Moment of the Day. Dumb people in the news doing dumb things. If you were watching Thursday Night Football last night, Rams and Seahawks, you may have seen this. Before Seahawk home games, they release a Seahawk and it flies out and it's majestic and it goes to its trainer who's standing out on the field, but the Seahawk was not following the cue cards last night.
Oh, no.
Yeah, instead it took off into the stands and landed on a fan's head. I hope landing on the head is the only thing it did on that dude's head.
A debt limit crisis averted. For now, I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Senate voted last night to raise the debt limit nearly $500 billion. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says Republicans were playing a dangerous game.
And I am glad that their brinksmanship did not work.
But GOP leader Mitch McConnell says it was the GOP that led the way.
To spare the American people a manufactured crisis.
Republicans insist Democrats pass a debt limit hike using a reconciliation tool underway to pass a spending bill without GOP support. Democrats reject that, setting up another likely debt limit showdown later this year.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The House will vote on the bill Tuesday. Later this hour, we'll get the September jobs report expected to show a surge in hiring, about 500,000 new jobs with a slight decline in the unemployment rate. The day after President Biden pushed more companies to require workers to get a COVID vaccine.
More people are getting vaccinated. More lives are being saved. Let's be clear. When you see headlines and reports of mass firings and hundreds of people losing their jobs, jobs. Look at the bigger story.
The Nobel Peace Prize was awarded this morning to two journalists. Fox's Simon Owen explains why live.
Dave, the Peace Prize has been won by reporters who took on the presidents of Russia and the Philippines.
Journalism has never been as important as it is today, and yet it is so difficult to do the job.
One of the winners, Maria Ressa, who runs Philippine website Rappler, says she's shocked.
I guess what this just shows is that that the Nobel Peace Prize Committee realized that a world without facts means a world without truth and trust.
Ressa shares the award with Dmitry Muratov, who edits one of Russia's most prominent independent newspapers. Dave?
Simon, an attack in Afghanistan at a mosque during Friday prayers. A bombing caused at least 28 deaths, according to a Taliban official. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, when the news channels start using terms like quantitative easing and now tapering a lot, you know there's trouble ahead. What does it mean? Well, despite everything you hear, it just means less money in your pocket, fewer dollars to spend. Everything costs more. Food, gas, utilities, all going up. Does anything cost less than last year? It's bad enough if you're young, but if you're close to retirement, it could be a disaster for your savings. A gold or silver IRA or 401k with Noble Gold will solve this inflation problem for good. And they're giving away a free 5-ounce solid silver America the Beautiful bullion coin with each qualifying plan you start this month as a thank you. Not bad, huh? The best part? You'll speak to an expert. No hassle, no pressure, just a look at your options and what you can do to stop the Fed stealing your hard-earned money. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com or call us at 877-646-5347.
93.9 The Eagle News Time with Robinson's Cleaners. Robinson saves you time. 7:03 is our time. 59 right now in Columbia. It's 58 degrees in Jefferson City. We are expecting warm conditions today. Our high in the mid-80s. Kevin will have your forecast, a complete forecast, coming up here in a moment. Good morning. Boone County Commissioners have voted to remove the Sid Larson murals from the county courthouse downtown and to place them in a secure location. All three county commissioners agree the murals should be removed, but presiding Commissioner Dan Atwell's plan to store them on county property and to include historical information was rejected. A frustrated Atwell spoke to 93.9 The Eagle after the votes.
I know the people who were involved with this, and they were good people. They were well-intentioned, and this leaves a stain that people looking at this quickly will potentially see in regard to those people who are deceased.
Now, he is referring there to Sid Larson, who is the artist that headed the art department there at Columbia College. He's referring to several others as well. The murals do show some lynchings and also some whippings, but they also feature the pianist Blind Boone. Commissioner Janet Thompson's motion to move the murals to a secure non-county location has been approved. She says Boone County is not in the art preservation business. Much more on the story, 939theeagle.com. Mizzou's football team battling North Texas tomorrow. Homecoming game for Mizzou, 110th homecoming game in Columbia. Kickoff is set for 3 o'clock at Faroe Field. Temperatures will be approaching 90 degrees. Thousands of people are already in town for homecoming. The popular House Deck event is tonight in Greektown. There'll also be a campus blood drive. And don't forget tomorrow morning's big 9 a.m. homecoming parade in downtown Columbia. My Wake Up Columbia colleagues, Branden Rathert, Stephanie Bell, will be your MCs tomorrow. Also, thousands of people from across mid-Missouri will be in Hartsburg for this weekend's annual Pumpkin Festival. The hours both days, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Saturday and Sunday. The event begins with the big 9 a.m. parade tomorrow. A reminder, Route A will be closed to festival traffic with the exception of motorcycles. State officials are warning you this morning about scammers. They're calling Missourians, making the calls appear to be coming from Capitol Police in Jefferson City.
Capitol Police in Jefferson City say the scam is known as spoofing, and it's used to obtain personal information from you. They're urging you to not answer calls from unknown numbers and to never provide your social security number or credit card numbers to people who call you. Don Luzader, 93.9 The Eagle.
More than 330,000 Missourians attended the state fair in Sedalia in August. Governor Mike Parson says that is an enormous success, especially the year before it had to be canceled because of COVID. Governor notes agriculture is Missouri's top economic driver. And Sunday is your opportunity to attend a drive-through flu shot event in Fulton. MU Healthcare will host Sunday's event from 10 to 2, Fulton Family Health. It's for everyone ages 6 months and older. Eric Mays of MU Healthcare says you're asked to wear a loose, short-sleeved shirt. MU Health will be collecting insurance information. They'll bill insurance for the flu shot. 93.9 The Eagle News, brought to you this morning by the Candy Factory. They make fresh their secret caramel sauce for their caramel apples. You can pick them up today at Candy Factory, downtown Columbia. Anniversary, birthday, any day. It's thecandyfactory.biz. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 7:06. The Missouri Tigers play the North Texas Mean Green tomorrow afternoon. Homecoming at Faurot Field in Columbia. 3:01 the kickoff. Tigers 2-3. They're coming off a tough 62-24 loss to Tennessee. North Texas plays in Conference USA. They are 1-3. We've been talking this morning, Branden and I, about their most famous alum, the NFL Hall of Famer Mean Joe Green. He acquired that name because he played at North Texas. He was also in a very famous ad that dealt with Coca-Cola. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. A big ad that's still an all-time favorite for many Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Our sports this morning is brought to you by Service Master Clean. Adam Klinzer, ServiceMasterofColumbia.com. You can call him 573-443-8383. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 7:07. Kevin, thank you. Right now, our weather is brought to you this morning by the Callaway Bank. The Callaway Bank is with you for the moments that matter. 59 degrees.
Eagle Eye Traffic.
Traffic check, MidmoHires.com. Local companies looking for local people. It's 7:08. We're not seeing anything right now to report or talk about on the roads. A reminder, Rock Quarry Road. Sun will be rising here, by the way, at 7:10. They can't get out that early. They have to wait till the sun rises. 8, they'll start setting up equipment. 9 o'clock, they're going to be working all day removing vegetation on Rock Quarry Road to make it more safe for the motorists. Avoid that area if you can, but if you're on it this morning and all day, be prepared for significant delays. I'm Brian Hauswirth at 93.9 The Eagle.
Good morning.
And it can be this easy. And by the way, since Stephanie Bell is off today, I I'm trying to get to as many texts as I can while I'm doing a highly rated morning talk show.
That's right.
So I'm hopping around, but I'm trying to get to as many as I can. Stephanie wants to know, are you taking Feel Good Friday messages today?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Feel Good Friday. Check this out. Delaney, graduate from Marine Corps. She says, I'm feeling good about watching my son. Ty Delaney, graduate from Marine Corps boot camp today in San Diego. How cool is that? And also on Feel Good Fridays, we wear red, man.
We wear red to remember everyone deployed.
So if you're watching on YouTube, which, by the way, how cool is this? You go to YouTube, and you got to be very specific in the search. 93 point, you got to put in that period, 93.9 The Eagle Live. That's how you find it. And here's how you use it.
Basically, I mean, you can watch it on your phone or any of your smart devices, including your smart TVs.
How cool is that?
So you can throw it up on your TV while you're getting ready and just kind of have us playing in the background while you get ready for your morning.
Yeah, so it's like when people listen to the radio and stuff kind of in the background, getting ready. I want to hear the local news from Brian Hauswirth. I want to hear the analysis from Stephanie. I want to hear the opinion from Branden. I want to hear what's going on. I want to make sure my kids know what's going on in the world, and I want it to be fun. Exactly. I don't want to go to work bummed out in the morning. Oh, the world's coming to an end. I know I've been saying it for 27 years, but the world's coming to an end. That's what a lot of...
Do you feel better after that?
Well, that is what, as a matter of fact, and this leads me to some comments that Presiding Commissioner Dan Atwill made yesterday. Talk radio. It used to be talk radio. It was, entertainment. And then people like Rush Limbaugh, he revolutionized. Rush Limbaugh got his start on a Zimmer radio station in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
That's correct.
Yep. And people changed it. Sean Hannity, who's here every day from 2 to 4 on 93.9 The Eagle, he revolutionized talk radio. But so many people... And I encounter this sometimes when I'm out, when I meet somebody that, and what do you do for a living? Usually I say marketing because I don't want to.
What?
I do. But I am kind of, I'm in marketing, right? I'm marketing you. I'm trying to put Hannah, the producer, out there and your boyfriend. I'm marketing myself.
Whoa.
Right?
You're learning. You said boyfriend.
Boyfriend. Well, I have respect for you, man.
Aw.
By the way, one of the things I feel good about on a Feel Good Friday, tomorrow I'm going out for dinner, and they asked, I'm going out for dinner with Hannah and her fiance.
Right.
There it is.
Yep. But that's why we encourage you to put Wake Up Columbia on YouTube. Go to YouTube, 93.9 The Eagle Live on YouTube. You can watch on Facebook, but the beauty in YouTube, you can pop it up on the TV and you get the news, but you don't go to work feeling like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. And that dude just banged on the desk for 3 hours all day long talking about rah, rah, rah.
A little bit of a heads up, though, for anyone considering tuning in on YouTube. If you do put us up on your TV, the glare from Branden's head is quite large.
Wow.
So that is something that you should be prepared for if you blow us up onto a TV screen. You might want some sunglasses handy.
I put, there's a picture. Somebody sent us a picture of their kid watching on YouTube on the TV. And we're like... This is how you use it.
It was a really cute picture.
It was a great picture, but I'm thinking and you can see it. Go to the Wake Up Columbia Facebook page and check it out. But it's like she's pointing like, what's that? And she has one hand over her eyes because the glare coming off the forehead.
Well, in your defense, you sit right underneath a very bright light.
Right behind you.
And I'm bald.
That too.
And we have some other cool pictures on the page, too.
There is an outtake from our Wake Up Columbia photo shoot that we had. Was that last week before last?
Yes, it was last week.
Yeah, we got caught in like what I would call a windstorm almost.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very hard on Stephanie and I. Brian and Branden fared much better than us ladies did. As you can see in the picture that is now the cover photo on the Wake Up Columbia Facebook page.
It's great. You go there and you look at the picture. Brian and I, unfazed. Hannah and Stephanie Bell, like...
Yeah. Our hair is all up in our face. We're trying to salvage it, and it's just not going well for either of us.
So that's why you put it up on YouTube. You can catch the news every morning, local news, the analysis, opinion, and we try to make it fun so that you're not going to work with a heavy feeling, and that's what we try to do here.
When you got sent that picture the other day from a listener, was it weird seeing yourself like on a TV screen?
No, I used to be on...
Never mind.
I used to do TV weather. I used to fill in weather work. Yeah.
What? Like the super dramatic, like, shots where the person's, standing outside the radio station with an umbrella, trying not to be blown sideways by the wind, like those that we make fun of?
No, I was the guys that, oh my goodness, now tomorrow it's going to be sunny and 85. Then coming up on Wednesday, expect sunshine and temps right about 85 degrees. The day after that, sunny and 85. And where we lived in Idaho, the weather is pretty much, that's the weather you get for 6 months at a time.
Wow.
And
so you had an easy job.
Yeah. And I would ask the news director, I'm like, can I just come on and say, hey, weather is sunny and 85 till about November, and then it's going to snow in the mountains until about May, and can I just do that? You could really add other programming by cutting the weather down to 5 seconds. It's going to be sunny and 85 until November. So, no, it's, and I've been interviewed for various things over the years, so it's...
Sorry, I didn't realize you were such a star.
It's my white guy problem. One of my white guy problems that I'm having today.
White woman syndrome.
So a couple of things I do want to mention real quick. So back to the comments from Presiding Commissioner Dan Atwell. A lot of questions. So there's a lot of different things on people's minds this morning, including Ray. Check it in, 874-9390. What I feel good about this Friday is that I get to listen to you guys. For the past few weeks, I've been listening to webinars and presentations on my drive to work.
Oof.
Ray, welcome back, man. We love you.
We're glad you made it through that.
Chuck the truck driver. Hey, Branden. When I arrived just across state line yesterday in Louisiana, my phone sent me a message which really irritated and angered me. I took a screenshot, which I will send you right after this text. May have frustrated you as well. Again, Hannah's golden rule, Branden, before you read text on air,
read them in your head.
Proofread them.
At least that one wasn't like vulgar or anything like that.
Oh, by the way, our friend Gary checking in, the conspiracy theory Gary, who sends proof there's metal in the vaccines. Look, here's a spoon sticking to somebody's forehead.
Yeah, is he having a good feel-good Friday?
Mm-hmm. Childish drivel, Branden.
Oh.
Let's go, Branden. Listening is bad enough. Watching is utterly hideous.
I mean, we chose radio for a reason, right?
So people are asking, I want to get to the big I do want to mention something that Presiding Commissioner Dan Atwell said that was tying into my comments about going to work and, hey, here's the news, and we hope we make you giggle a little bit. Here's some fun, but here's the news. You know what's going on. Because what's more embarrassing? You go to work and you're in the break room or something. Somebody says, hey, did you hear what happened at the county commission yesterday? And you don't know, and you kind of feel stupid. So you don't get that. You know everything happening on locally, and you know the national stuff. So if somebody brings up a news story, you sound smart because you listen to Wake Up Columbia, 93.9 The Eagle.
That's right.
So this was we have 3 members on the county commission, and I'm running behind here, Brian. So basically,
Sure.
it was a 2-0 vote. Atwell abstained. Now, he's still in favor of removing the murals, but it got down to the nuts and bolts regarding language.
Well, it really boiled down to 2 things in a nutshell. Dan Atwell wanted them to be stored on county property because he wanted to find a place that would display them appropriately. He also wanted there to be historical information that would recognize the work that Sid Larson did, Judge Conley, a gentleman from the State Historical Society. That language was not included in that, so he was very frustrated. He said that. And also, you indicated this, before he made his motion, he criticized both the extreme right and the extreme left in this country, and he said that we have lost our ability to compromise. I have never heard him, and I don't think you have either, that frustrated when he gave that address. I've never seen anything like it. He was that frustrated.
To me, it was very powerful. He, on a bigger note, we talk about the extreme right and the extreme left, and when he talks about the extreme left, I'm assuming he's talking to people like Cory Bush, AOC, the way, hey, everything's free, hey, $3.5 trillion in infrastructure, hey, let's teach CRT. We don't want to teach the history in the courtroom in a mural, but we want it taught in schools. But it was just, he made a good point, and I get it. But he talked about, the ability to find compromise. I understand there's some things some people on the left don't. We're seeing it. AOC and Cory Bush and all those likes, they don't want to compromise on this infrastructure package. And then there's people on the far right. They don't want to compromise. And I just thought, that's something that you should know about the eventually outgoing commissioner. It just struck me as a very powerful moment. But here's what people are wanting to talk about this morning. We had this guy on talking about, hey, have you updated? You go to the gym, you work out, you walk, you clean around the house. Have you updated your list? Pretty interesting. And we've got a lot of, and somebody's asking about Centralia. Let's cover that real quick. More officers have resigned, and really, The mayor of Centralia, Mr. Cox, his son, cited, charged for like a 4th-degree assault. Apparently somebody at a grocery store in Centralia said something, and the mayor's son is now charged or ticketed for assault. And I wish we could tell you more. There's just not a lot out there.
Well, and we're kind of relying on our news partner, ABC 17. I haven't had any luck getting anyone from the city to call back. A lot of this is, it sounds to me like it's just kind of dividing the community up there. And Monday night, we'll probably learn more at the Board of Aldermen meeting. But 3 more officers have stepped down.
Monday, we should know more. I wish we could tell you more. We could, and I don't want to, resort to, well, here's what I heard, here's what I saw. I like to do it sometimes, but not today, because I want to get to what everybody's talking about, the music they like to work out to. 80s hair bands. Somebody mentioned a local guy, Stevie Stone. Here's some of his stuff. This is mine.
Alt rock. We're just going to talk about some of the bonus material on the Wake Up Columbia Facebook page.
News and local talk is here. Hot Talk 93.9 The Eagle.
Welcome into a feel-good Friday. What's hot with Hannah? Some photos, some wind-blown photos of Hannah, the producer, and the Stephanie Bell photo shoot last week downtown. We got a windstorm. Hilarious photos. Go to the Wake Up Columbia Facebook page. Check it out. Fox News is here. Fight in D.C. over the debt limit is over, and now we move on to the next fight. Fox has that. Brian Hauswirth is here. Why the vote yesterday regarding the murals in Boone County was not a unanimous vote. Brian Hauswirth has that 7:31. Learfield's Brad Tregnago, pregame, halftime, postgame host on the Tiger Network, previewing Tiger football, and he's promised us a dad joke, too. ABC 17 Storm Track forecast, sunshine, temps right about 90 all weekend. It's 59. Weather is brought to you by Callaway Bank, a dedicated customer care team you can text or call 7 days a week. Callaway Bank is with you for those moments that matter.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. 11 Republicans joined Democrats, allowing a vote to raise the nation's borrowing limit just for a few weeks.
The Senate has approved a $480 billion increase in the debt ceiling. It will now go to the House. The $480 billion increase is enough to keep the Treasury borrowing and spending going through at least early December. If it had failed, the U.S. could have defaulted on its debt in less than 2 weeks.
Fox's Matt Finn. The Nobel Peace Prize goes to two journalists, Dmitry Muratov from Russia and Maria Ressa from the Philippines. And even with a federal judge on Wednesday blocking enforcement of new abortion restrictions in Texas, some providers are holding off for now, others are not.
We reached out to some of the patients that we had on a waiting list to come in to have abortions.
Amy Hagstrom Miller is the founder of Whole Woman's Health, which operates 4 clinics in Texas. The law had allowed for civil lawsuits against anyone helping a woman get an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The state of Texas is appealing to have the block overturned. America's listening to Fox News.
And now, award-winning news coverage with Brian Hauswirth on 93.9 The Eagle and 93.9theeagle.com.
93.9 The Eagle News Time with Robinson's Cleaners. Robinson's saves you time. Right now, it's 59 degrees in Columbia. We're expecting a high today in the mid-80s. It's going to be warm again tomorrow as well, and our high tomorrow around close to 90 degrees by the time Mizzou will be playing at North Texas. We'll have your complete forecast here coming up. I want to begin with a quick traffic note right now. Columbia police are on scene. This accident happened just in the last, let's say, 90 seconds. Grindstone Parkway and Falling Leaf Lane. We're getting reports of an accident right now, and again, the authorities on their way to that scene if they're not there already. If you do have some information or you can see that accident, certainly give us a call, but authorities on their way right now to the scene, if not already. Grindstone Parkway and Falling Leaf Lane. Thousands of people will be in downtown Columbia for tomorrow morning's Mizzou Homecoming Parade. That one will start at 9 near Tiger Avenue and Rollins, and it will wind its way through downtown. It will end up on Cherry Street after going on Broadway. You're urged to wear your best black and gold attire. Mizzou's homecoming dates to 1911. Mizzou consistently has been recognized for having one of the largest and longest homecoming celebrations in the nation. It is also homecoming weekend this weekend in Jefferson City. Lincoln University will be hosting its homecoming parade. That one will start in Jefferson City and go through Jeff City tomorrow. It will also start at 9 a.m. Sid Larson murals will be removed soon from the Boone County Courthouse in Columbia. County commissioners voted Thursday 2-0 to move them to a secure location. A frustrated presiding commissioner Dan Atwell abstained from the final vote because it did not include his language about the history of the mural's 1994 creation.
Well, I'm disappointed that the language that I proposed concerning recognition of the reason and the people who were involved in preparing and installing the murals was not included in the order.
No, Atwell says the murals were created in 1994 with the cooperation of then-Judge Frank Conley, the State Historical Society director, and others. Former Judge Gary Oxenhandler led the effort to remove the murals. He testified Thursday he was fine with adding language, saying the murals were welcomed in 1994, but the times have changed. Now, that language was not in the final vote. Mr. Atwell wanted it in there, but Commissioner Thompson said that would be reflected in the minutes. He wanted it in actually the the order itself. Capitol Police in Jefferson City warning you about scammers or spoofing numbers, making it appear that Capitol Police are calling you. Authorities are now urging you to not answer any calls from unknown phone numbers. If you do get a call from someone who says they're from the Capitol Police in Jefferson City, you're being urged to hang up. Missouri's governor is describing the 2021 State Fair in Sedalia as a success. More than 330,000 people attended the fair to celebrate agriculture. The governor also says more than 203,000 meals were packed at the fair for Feeding Missouri. The Missouri Pork Association, Don Nicodem and his group right here in Columbia, involved in that effort as well. And MU Healthcare will be conducting a Sunday drive-through flu shot event in Fulton. Sunday's event will be from 10 to 2. Fulton Family Health on Fairway. It's for anyone ages 6 months and older. Attendees need to bring a mask, wear it when interacting with the staff. 93.9 The Eagle News is brought to you this hour by Dr. Kent Willett. Dr. Kent Willett Associates practices conscious sedation dentistry to relax your fears. Make an appointment now, 573-445-5300, WillettDentalAssociates.com. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 7:35. In sports, the Missouri Tigers playing the North Texas Mean Green tomorrow afternoon. Homecoming at Learfield in Columbia. Kickoff 3:01. Tigers 2-3 coming off the tough loss to Tennessee. North Texas 1-3. They play in Conference USA. Of course, you'll hear the game on the Tiger Radio Network on a number of our Zimmer stations, including KCMQ and also KTGR. 93.9 The Eagle Sports is brought to you this morning by the Callaway Bank. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 7:35.
Eagle Eye Traffic.
And our traffic check is brought to you this morning by MidmoHires.com. Local companies looking for local people. Visit MidmoHires.com. Find a job, post your job opening today. Columbia authorities are on scene right now in accident, a crash that happened about 7 minutes ago. Grindstone Parkway in Falling Leaf Lane. We had a few calls saying there was a crash there, so avoid that area if you can. Obviously a tough area to avoid, especially now in morning rush hour. If you have some information on that, let us know. And a reminder, it's coming up here in about 24 minutes, Rock Quarry Road. You're going to start seeing a lot of equipment, stump removing equipment. A number of other workers will be up and down Rock Quarry Road. They're going to be removing vegetation. Best bet is to avoid that area if you can at all today. They're going to be working out there all day to make the area safer due to all the vegetation. If you want to report a traffic issue, give us a call or text immediately. 573-874-9390. I'm Brian Hauswirth, 93.9 The Eagle.
I'm excited. Brad Tregnago, part of the Tiger Sports Network, going to be joining us, previewing maybe an interesting story or two from the game, from the big homecoming game. Stephanie Bell and I are going to be announcing the parades, I'm hoping, downtown tomorrow. And I'm excited because Brad has promised us a dad joke. Brad's dad jokes. He's one of the many things he's incredibly talented at. You were talking about Mean Joe Green, of course. Probably one of the great commercials of all time, and Coca-Cola specifically has had a lot of great commercials of all time. The one you've been referring to this morning, Mean Joe Green played North Texas, who Mizzou is playing. But the commercial was, Hannah, in case you're not familiar.
I am not actually. I will let you boomer-splain me this time.
So is what it is. It's following a game, and Mean Joe Green, who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's walking down the hallway into the locker room, whatever, and there's a little kid there kind of sheepishly saying, "Hey, Mean Joe Green, great game." And he gives him his bottle of Coke, and Mean Joe Green slams the bottle of Coke, and kid walks away, and Mean Joe Green says, "Hey, kid," gives him his game jersey. Somewhere, I cannot find this audio. There is an outtake when they did the commercial, when they were filming that commercial, which I think, was it 78, 79, maybe 80?
I'm thinking 79 ballpark, right around there.
So obviously they had to do a lot of takes on this commercial. And so Mean Joe Green is having to drink numerous bottles of Coke, and there's one point he's like, "Hey, kid, here you go." And he belches because he'd been drinking so much Coke. Feel Good Friday. Brian Hauswirth, Hannah, the producer. I am Branden Rathert. Brad Tregnago, you are familiar with the commercial. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of the classics. Brad Tregnago, Learfield's Brad Tregnago, pregame, halftime, postgame host on the Tiger Network. Does this look like it's homecoming? Easy game for us tomorrow, or certainly easier than Tennessee, huh?
It's certainly easier than Tennessee, and it's probably the easiest game remaining on the schedule. And so, yeah, this is one that you would certainly hope Mizzou would be able to get. North Texas, Brian just mentioned a 1-3 record against weaker competition. They have not played a Power 5 school yet. I don't believe they've beaten an FBS school yet either. So it's a team that certainly has some weaknesses. And, for Mizzou, hopefully the idea, you go through some changes here. Eli Drinkwitz said there's no depth chart this week. They're kind of starting over in terms of who's going to earn playing time starting with this game. So maybe it's different people out there. We'll see on that. But trying to build up some confidence again and get back on track with the SEC schedule still.
Brad?
This is interesting. Gary, our conspiracy theory guy, has already texted, yep. The silence is far more interesting than what you guys are talking about. Thank you, Gary. We appreciate that. Well, I'm bummed out. Listen, Mizzou will win the game tomorrow. There's your analysis of what's come up. But I want the dad joke. Maybe we'll try calling. Maybe he's in a dead spot along.
There's a spot on, it depends on where he is, but there are actually two spots along 63. One is in the Hartsburg area, and one is near the sod farm where you will lose your cell service. And if he's down in there, it could be a minute and a half before he gets to a spot.
So we'll just sit here for 90 seconds and just wait for Brad. Just wait on yourself, sir. By the way, later this morning, we're going to do winners, and we nominate. We don't pick. Somebody got triggered a couple weeks ago. We were playing some hilarious audio from Bill Maher, and it was something that most of us hanging out this morning would agree with. And this guy said, well, Bill Maher picks winners and losers, and he's liberal. I said, have you watched Bill Maher recently? No. So you don't know, you're not seeing his evolution, are you? So because we didn't want to trigger this guy all the time, because we're all PC and everything, so we don't pick winners and losers. We nominate winners. Brad's really in a dead spot. We can't get him back. Dang it. Brian, do you know any good dad jokes?
I don't know any good dad jokes, but I certainly could talk about the North Texas Mean Green if you needed more information.
No, not really. I'm not that interested.
I got you.
I'm not. So we will nominate winners and losers coming up at 8:35 this morning here on 93.9 The Eagle on a feel-good Friday. I can go way early to make up for all the times I've been late, Hannah. My PC code, this is from Gary, my PC code, so I don't cuss when someone pulls out in traffic or does something really stupid, is what a howdy doody. He says, now I think it's going to be, let's go Branden. Let's go Branden. Which has been, this is becoming a thing now, I'm sure, as you, and by the way, if somebody can rescue us with a dad joke to pull us out of this painful pit we're stuck in right now, I'd love you, man. Wake Up Columbia would appreciate you. But this let's go Branden thing is becoming a thing. NASCAR driver wins a race Saturday, live TV. The crowd is chanting F Joe Biden. The reporter, by the way, Ted Cruz and some of these folks saying, that reporter from NBC, see, she glossed over what was happening. No, that is not what happened. Reporters on live TV, she handled it extremely well. What a skillful manner. She said, they're saying, let's go Branden. That reporter knew that's not what they were doing. She knew that. But now it's becoming a thing. They are selling shirts that say, let's go Branden. This happened on live TV on Fox.
News, because it's America. It's my America. It's a real station telling the real truth every day. And by the way, let's go Branden. Okay.
So people have been texting it this morning. Let's go Branden if something displeases you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about Joe. But if something displeases you, you just smile. Let's go Branden. All right, somebody going to rescue us with a dad joke. Roy, welcome into the show. Thanks for helping us out. What do you got for us, man?
Well, now you asked for a dad joke, and this one's particularly terrible. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
How is it that you can never tell when there's a pterodactyl in the men's room?
How is it that you can never tell?
I know this.
Oh, that's mine, though. The P is silent.
Roy, we love you.
What do you call a cow that just gave birth to a calf? Decaffeinated.
Oh, that's beautiful.
God made Yogi Bear, and he liked the results so well, he was going to make a second Yogi Bear. But he made a boo-boo.
Ah, that's good. It's something.
Branden Rathert for pro pumping and hydrojetting. Pro pump people talk about, pro pumping. They go and they empty septic tanks and they clean out lagoons and they clean grease traps. I'm like, yeah. But really, if you distill it down to its core, they help people. Yeah, really. I mean, think about it. Let's say, if you have a problem with your septic tank and there's backup and emergency situation, by the way, they will always, no matter what day of the week, what time of the night or of the morning, they will always take your phone call at Pro Pumping and Hydrojetting. They will come and they will help you. But here is what I would recommend. If you're on a septic tank, you might call them. They can put you on a plan where they're doing regular maintenance. That way you don't ever have an emergency. Pro Pumping and Hydrojetting. They are online at pro-pumping.com.
Wake Up Columbia with Branden Rathert.
Tough, sophisticated, professional, cool, the man's man.
Hot Talk 93.9 The Eagle.
By the way, that was taken out of context, just so you know. I don't want anybody to think, oh, Branden's being all arrogant and stuff because of this whole Let's Go Branden thing, which is and people, there's other countries now, they're putting out explainers on the internet on what Let's Go Branden is. There are shirts for sale. This is after the NASCAR driver, Saturday, Branden Brown wins. People chanting Joe Biden. Reporter does an excellent job of covering it up. And now it's become a thing. So I don't want you to think that it's, and he spells it with an O-N as opposed to an E-N. So, but the liner, where did that come from? The liner says, tough, sophisticated, man's man.
So we have what we call prod studios here in the building.
Okay.
And it's for anybody to go in there if they need to record a commercial or whatever.
Okay.
And you didn't close out of the project you were working on one day.
Okay, so I was doing a commercial.
You were voicing a commercial.
Oh, okay.
And you had left your audio up, and I went into the studio after you, noticed all this audio, and thought it would be a golden opportunity that I was gifted. I just clipped it, and I added our Wake Up voice guide to it, and it's beautiful.
It is. And that's how we do here on Wake Up Columbia. Welcome into the family. 874-9390. A lot of dad jokes, man. Thanks. So we were chatting with Brad Tregnago, Learfield's Brad Tregnago, pregame, halftime, postgame host of the Tiger Network. Pretty cool. A couple weeks ago, I was in Hannibal, and I don't know what station I was listening to up there. I was going to take my mom shopping and stuff, and it was cool. Like, man, that's Brad Tregnago. I'm all the way in Hannibal, Missouri. Well, it's Tiger Network all over Missouri. He promised us a dad joke, but really bad signal on the phone this morning. You are helping us out. We always tell you we have your back here on Wake Up Columbia. This morning, you got our back. I want to get to some of those. Want to highlight this first.
Convoluted and risky reconciliation process. That was simply unacceptable to my caucus. And yes,
just, talking about the whole debt limit thing. Joe Manchin pulled a Rathert.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Last week when I was at Boone County Commission and Oxen Handler was talking about feelings and why that mural should come down and all of that stuff. And I'm just sitting there in this meeting and I'm in a weird spot, standing room only, so I'm tucked away in a hallway and I'm nodding my head like, no, Judge, that's bull.
That's not all you did.
And then I was doing all. ABC 17 had the camera on me the whole time. Not on me. They had it on the people that were giving public comment, but I was off to the side of that, and the whole time you see me doing this.
And you weren't even wearing like a station shirt with our logo on it. That was a huge missed opportunity.
So Manchin's Rathert moment yesterday as Chuck Schumer is...
And yesterday, Senator...
Blah, 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 blah. Manchin is behind him. And I don't know if he knows that he's on the camera, but he's like, no. Somebody from his own party going, no, what are you talking about? And then at one point, he puts his head in his hands. That's how, disgusted he is at what Chuck Schumer is saying. All right, dad jokes. What do Joe Biden and Bill Clinton have in common? They both.
Is this a clean joke?
Yeah. They both got bad press over the way they pulled out. Don, what does a cow... Maybe that wasn't a dad joke. I didn't pre-read that.
That was not... I asked if that was clean, and you said yes. And...
I didn't read it. I didn't know if it was clean or not. Who am I to pass judgment on something I haven't read yet? What does a cowboy get when he gets a dachshund? This is from Don. He gets a long little doggy. I love this stuff. Heather, someone threw a bottle of mayo at me. I was like, what the hell, man? Hellman's mayonnaise?
Oh,
Hellman's
I get it.
Very nice.
One of my favorites here lately has been, I just got a new horse. I named him Mayo, sometimes mayonnaise.
Gosh. Which key gets you into the restroom? It's this one is...
Dude.
Do you know what it is?
No. I just know by the look on your face that you probably shouldn't say it out loud right now.
It's the do key.
Oh, that one's not bad. You can say that one.
Difference in a hippo and a zippo. Darren, difference in a hippo and a zippo. Hippo is pretty heavy. Zippo is a little
lighter.
Don't be a buzzkill, Anna. You're stealing these people's glory.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
What?
Ground beef.
Oh, gosh. You'll get a letter from PETA. How do you make a dad joke? It's easy. The real question is, how do you make them stop? And I think we will end it there. No, because I got one from Amy. Do you know why people, and this is a fact, actually. I was not aware of this, Hannah.
Oh, boy.
Do you know why people in Athens don't like mornings? Because dawn is tough on grease. You're a kid. Whatever generation you are, you in Dawn TV commercials. Dawn is tough on grease.
Grease is okay. I see the country. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta know.
Yeah.
You gotta know 70s pop culture and world geography to get that joke.
I knew one of those things.
I have some racing geese for sale. Would you like a quick gander? Man, you guys have our back. We love you, man. You have our back, so we appreciate you. So yeah, a lot of good stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Sounds like it.
I'm trying to make sure.
You sound like the Muppets theme song when you do that a little bit.
Well, because we have new family members texting us this morning at 874-9390. Before we get into Fox News here, we have just some phenomenal dad jokes. Thank you so much. And I want to share this anonymously. Wow. Feel Good Friday for me is 12 days without a drink. Thanks for the motivation.
Awesome.
Man. Telling dad jokes, and I'm going to cry. Hey, man, keep at it, and feel free to call me on the studio, not on air, but you call me on the studio line if you need somebody to talk to. I am willing to help you. You know what we ought to do? We ought to get to really know Brian Hauswirth at 8:10.
Finally?
Well, we've learned a lot of things. We've learned he's a big fan of Doris Day and Roberta Flack. We have that. So Fox News is here. Republicans taking a page from the Democrats. Infighting. Republicans now cannibalizing each other. Fox has that. And then Brian Hauswirth is here at 8:03. I'm Branden Rathert for the Mid-Missouri Better Business Bureau. We always talk about anytime you're getting ready to get a service or invest money in something, like just about anything, you can get information on the website. Mid-Missouri's Better Business Bureau's website. Did I mess that up? Mid-Missouri Better Business Bureau's website is bbb.org. Child care, for example. Man, I know especially in the past year and a half plus, almost 2 years now, child care, hard to come by. And if you can find it, you're putting your kids there. And especially if you're a new parent, what kind of things am I looking out for? What do I want to pay attention to? Well, these are the things that the Mid-Missouri Better Business Bureau helps you with. They have things on their website that will, and maybe not even necessarily recommend a specific daycare, but just here are some questions that you should ask. Again, Mid-Missouri Better Business Bureau, they've got your back.
Another slowdown in hiring. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News was much less than expected last month, though the unemployment rate dropped. Fox's Lillian Wu has the Just Out report live.
Dave, yep, there's a big miss in the September jobs report. Analysts were expecting 500,000 new jobs added. Instead, we got half that, less than 194,000. It's the second straight month of disappointing jobs growth, possibly weighed down by people reluctant to return to work or also supply chain bottlenecks. Now, the unemployment rate dropped, as you said, falling sharply to 4.8%. Dave?
Lillian, President Biden is pushing more companies to mandate their workers to get a COVID vaccine.
I know the vaccination requirements are tough medicine.
He says he knows they cost some who don't get a shot their jobs, but the president says the bigger story is they save lives.
Without them, we face endless months of chaos in our hospitals, damage to our economy, and anxiety in our schools.
There's a pushback with challenges in court. And speaking of schools, in Republican-led Florida,
the Florida State Board of Education's approved a plan to deduct an amount equal to a month's pay from school board members in 8 counties. Those school districts have been violating the ban on mask mandates imposed by Governor Ron DeSantis. The Biden administration's pledge to offset sanctions imposed by the state against board members.
Fox's Jill Nato. The Senate approved and sent to the House a bill raising the debt limit nearly $500 billion. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Republicans must recognize in the future they should approach fixing the debt limit in a bipartisan way.
No way, says GOP Senator Lindsey Graham, who didn't like a deal with Democrats this time.
This is coming up again in December, and if we do this again in December, we will shoot ourselves in the head as a party.
The Nobel Peace Prize being shared by journalists in the Philippines and Russia for reporting amid crackdowns on free speech. Dmitry Muratov dedicated the award to 6 journalists at his newspaper who were murdered. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, when the news channels start using terms like quantitative easing and now tapering a lot, you know there's trouble ahead. What does it mean? Well, despite everything you hear, it just means less money in your pocket, fewer dollars to spend. Everything costs more. Food, gas, utilities, all going up. Does anything cost less than last year? It's bad enough if you're young, but if you're close to retirement, it could be a disaster for your savings. A gold or silver IRA or 401k with Noble Gold will solve this inflation problem for good. And they're giving away a free 5-ounce solid silver America the Beautiful bullion coin with each qualifying plan you start this month as a thank you. Not bad, huh? The best part? You'll speak to an expert. No hassle, no pressure, just a look at your options and what you can do to stop the Fed stealing your hard-earned money. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com or call us at 877-646-5347.
93.9 The Eagle News Time with Robinson's Cleaners. Robinson saves you time. 8:03 is our time. It's now 60 here in Columbia, 58 degrees in Jefferson City. We're expecting a high today into the mid-80s, even warmer tomorrow. If you're heading out to the homecoming activities at Mizzou, make sure you dress loosely and also make sure you stay hydrated. Tomorrow's high will be around 90 degrees. Good morning, everyone. Boone County Commissioners have voted to remove the Sid Larson mural from the county courthouse downtown and then place them in a secure location. All 3 county commissioners agreed the murals should be removed. There was a discussion about that at the prior meeting. However, Presiding Commissioner Dan Atwell's plan to store them on the county property and to include historical information was rejected. A frustrated Atwell spoke to 93.9 The Eagle after the votes. He said that he wanted the measure to include the historical recognition. It did not. Commissioner Janet Thompson's motion to move the murals to a secured non-county location has been approved. She says Boone County is not in the art preservation business. We have much more on this story on our website, which is 939theeagle.com. Meantime, a lot of folks heading into Columbia already this morning for homecoming. Homecoming as well taking place at Lincoln University in Jefferson City tomorrow. Here in Columbia, Mizzou's football team will battle North Texas in the homecoming game in Columbia. Kickoff is set for 3 at Faurot Field. Temperatures will be approaching 90 degrees. Thousands of people in town for the event. Popular house deck event is tonight in Greektown. There'll also be a campus blood drive in tomorrow's 9 a.m. homecoming parade. In Jefferson City, the Lincoln University parade will take place as well, and that one will be at 9 o'clock tomorrow, too. State officials are warning about scammers who are calling Missourians and Texas residents. They're making the calls appear to be coming from Capitol Police in Jefferson City. Capitol Police say the scam is known as spoofing. It's being used to obtain personal information from you. They're urging you not to answer any calls from unknown numbers. Jefferson City Police say there was no active shooter Thursday at a housing complex in the capital city that has many elderly and disabled residents.
When police arrived at the high-rise early Thursday morning, they found a complete tenant evacuation was underway, but there was no active shooter situation. Officers say 54-year-old Hankel Jones, who lived in the complex, had triggered a fire alarm by starting a fire in his apartment. The suspect then told police he called 911 and said there was an active shooter. He faces arson and terroristic threat charges. John Marsh, 93.9, The Eagle.
John, thank you. More than 330,000 people attended the Missouri State Fair in Sedalia in August. Governor Mike Parsons says State Fair commissioners, staff, vendors, exhibitors, and everyone should be proud of their efforts to make the fair a success. The governor notes there were also thousands of youth livestock exhibitors. And Sunday is your opportunity to attend a drive-through flu shot event in Fulton. MU Healthcare will be hosting Sunday's event. It'll be from 10 in the morning until 2 at the Fulton Family Health. That's operated by MU Healthcare. It's for everyone ages 6 months and older. You're asked to wear loose and short sleeve shirts. MU Health will be collecting insurance information. They will bill your insurance for the flu shot. And we'll have a picture of this particular facility up on our website here shortly, 939theeagle.com. Again, that is in Fulton, and make sure you bring your insurance card. 93.9 The Eagle News is brought to you on this busy Friday morning by the Callaway Bank. They have a dedicated customer care team that you can text or call 7 days a week. The Callaway Bank is with you for the moments that matter. 93.9 The Eagle News Time is 8:06. In sports, the Missouri Tigers will play the North Texas Mean Green. That'll be tomorrow afternoon. Homecoming at Faurot Field. They'll kick it off just after 3 o'clock at Faurot. It's going to be a warm one tomorrow, almost 90 degrees at the kickoff. Be prepared for that. Tigers 2-3. They're coming off the tough loss to Tennessee, 62-24. North Texas is 1-3. They play in Conference USA. We'll have coverage on the Tiger Radio Network on a number of our Zimmer stations, including KCMQ and also KTGR. We're on the air with the pregame at 1 o'clock. Again, the kickoff right at 3:01 p.m. 93.9 The Eagle Sports is presented to you live this morning by Woods Basement Systems. They're the most reviewed contractor for all things with your basement. 800-388-9326 for a free estimate. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 8:07. All right, Kevin, thank you. And our weather is also brought to you by the Callaway Bank this morning. The Callaway Bank is with you for the moments that matter. 61 degrees.
Eagle Eye Traffic.
Traffic check with MidmoHires.com. Local companies looking for local people. MidmoHires.com. It is 8:08. Not seeing anything or hearing anything right now on the roads. We did have that situation on Grindstone. That accident has been cleared. We just want to remind everyone right now that the work will be starting here in about 52 minutes going on Rock Quarry Road. They already have a lot of equipment out on Rock Quarry Road right now. They're going to be removing vegetation, and that will be taking place all day. So be prepared for that, and that will be causing some delays. Other than that, things are looking pretty good right now. We'll have an update coming your way again at 8:30. Breaking news at once. I'm Brian Hauswirth, 93.9 The Eagle.
Welcome into the show. All right, Dad Jokes, 874-9390. What do you got for us, Earl?
Oh, I got 3 real good ones. I think you'll like. One is special for Hannah.
Okay, let's do the one for Hannah.
Okay. What's the difference between biology, chemistry, and physics?
What?
If it wiggles, it's biology. If it stinks, it's chemistry. And if it doesn't work, it's physics.
Earl, thank you for the phone call. We hope that you have a phenomenal weekend, man. What this is from listener Chris, who, by the way, says, you guys rock. Hannah is my favorite.
Hey!
What does a vegan zombie eat?
What does a what?
A vegan.
A vegan.
A vegan. Vegan. What does a vegan zombie eat? Grains.
That's good.
And I'll take some points for acting that one out.
I'm sure you will.
Since nobody...
You can take your points and...
Shove them. 874-9390. Why couldn't the 2 muskmelons... I've never heard of a muskmelon. Why couldn't the 2 muskmelons get married? The lady said muskmelons. Dad said they can't elope. I love that. Man, there's just so many, and I'm sorry if I'm sounding distracted. I'm just trying to...
He's trying to sound words out while he's reading.
Speaking of Muppets, Hannah said earlier I sound like somebody from the Muppets. Do you know what Alexander the Great and Kermit the Frog have in common? This is a factual, as a matter of fact. What do Alexander the Great and Kermit the Frog have in common?
I have no idea.
It's a fact. They have the same middle name.
Wow.
Keep you hanging on for that one?
That one took a second, but that was good.
874-9390. So those are some of the dad jokes that we have this morning. And I do want to mention something else I do kind of really feel good about on a Feel Good Friday because people are asking, hey, the mural vote. And we knew, listen, this was no surprise. I even made $1 million bet yesterday, didn't I? I bet $1 million that they were going to vote to yank the murals down. And I win again. It's like 4 $1 million bets that I've made in a very public fashion.
How's that collection going?
That's not the point, Hannah. The point is I have yet to lose $1 million bet. I bet $1 million.
Lost a couple steak dinner bets.
Lost a couple of steak dinner bets. Thank you, Cuomo. And we knew it was going to happen, and it's a mural, and it's kind of like, you know, when a petulant little child, and Hannah, you'll figure this out whenever you guys have kids, you and your boyfriend, you get a petulant little child, and the best advice I ever got from a child psychologist, you know, in the store, they throw a fit or whatever, or they're out in public and they start screaming and yelling, because listen, kids are smart. They're smart. And so even at the age of 2 or 3 years old, they know if you're in aisle 7 at Hy-Vee and they want that bag of Halloween candy, they know how to play you, Mom and Dad. They do. They're good. And what typically do we see happen? Oh, okay, here you go. Here's 9,000 calories worth of sugar, worth of Tootsie. Here you go. Just quit crying. Just quit crying. They play you. The best thing to do, is the best advice I ever got, and my son, Trevor, will tell you to this day, yep. Let them have their fit. Let them have their fit, you know? And you will find that eventually they quit doing it. And I'll tell you, as a father, the first time I ever did it, I was supposed to, it was my Tuesday night, and as the divorced dad, that was my night and every other weekend, and we were going out. We were going to dinner, and we were going to go roller skating. He loved roller skating. As a matter of fact, his mom, my ex-wife, met her second husband at a roller rink, which I still think is kind of weird. But they're happily married for a lot longer than we were.
It's ironic. I don't know if it's weird.
Yeah. So anyhow, we were going to go roller skating and do all this, and we're getting ready to leave the restaurant, and he's playing around under the table like, oh, come find me. And we, cool. And it's like, okay, Trev, it's time to go. And he's like, mm-mm. And I'm like, Trevor, come on, it's time to go. And it was getting to a point where it was a thing. He was playing, man. I said, Trevor, I'll tell you what. You can make the choice. You can walk out with me now and we'll go roller skating, or if you want to continue to play and cause a scene, we'll just go home. The point is, you get to choose. And I ignored his petulance. And eventually he came out, but we're not going roller skating. That kid cried, broke my heart. But it worked. You know why? Because I ignored his petulance. And I think a lot of what we see locally, what we saw with the county commission and these people that think this stuff shouldn't be hanging on murals in the courthouse, but it should be taught in schools. That petulance, treat it like a petulant child. You just go, okay, and let them have their way. And you walk away. We shouldn't hang our hats on this. I don't want that to bum you out today. Dad jokes. Bobby. Two guys walk into a bar. The third one ducked. I'm missing that. Maybe it's voice to text.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Or I'm stupid.
I mean, we're all in this together, right?
Yeah. Okay, 874-9390, 874-9390. Do we want to do this since Brian's not in the studio now? Because I caught this too, and I'm sure if you were listening, Brian Hauswirth, we were going to do Meet Brian Hauswirth, but we're out of time.
This is only like the third week we said we were going to do that and then didn't.
Yeah, I keep running out of time. You probably caught this as Brian started. This was right at 8:03.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of, hey, weather's going to be warm this weekend, and I'm only bringing it back not to make fun of him because we love Brian, but I caught this and Hannah caught this.
If you're heading out to the homecoming activities at Mizzou, make sure you dress loosely, and also make sure...
and probably just dress loosely. And I know what he meant, and he knows.
Be prepared for the hot weather tomorrow.
But, and sometimes I'm 16, and you know what? I enjoy that sometimes when I'm 16. And yeah, it made me giggle, and why not? It's a Feel Good Friday. Coming up, 8:35 here on the show, we will be nominating winners and losers of the week. We don't pick winners and losers because sometimes people get triggered. And so we don't want to trigger anybody, right? It's all about feelings. You know, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because people, man, they get really hurt. So we're just kind of doing our part. So we won't pick winners and losers. We will nominate winners.
What the heck?
Now more Hot Talk with Branden Rathert and Wake Up Columbia. Hot Talk 93.9 The Eagle.
By the way, did you get your Tiger Tailgate passes? We're doing the 93.9 The Eagle Tiger Tailgate tomorrow. This is free. This is part of the big homecoming weekend. Stephanie Bell and I are going to be emceeing the parade, we think, somewhere downtown. Not quite sure. You might want to check our Facebook page for updates. So that way, if you're somewhere close, you can come by and say hi. And please do not feel, because we get this all the time, well, I didn't want to bother you. No, man. Come up and say hi. Go ahead and bother Stephanie. She doesn't care. Stay out of my way, but I'm kidding. So maybe watch the Wake Up Columbia Facebook page, and as soon as we have an exact location where we're going to be, we will let you know. You can watch Wake Up Columbia on the Facebook page, and now you can watch on YouTube. And people have been asking, okay, so watching on YouTube, what's the benefit of watching on YouTube?
You can put a YouTube stream up on your smart TV. You can watch us on the big screen.
And the cool thing with that is not, and yeah, you can watch, but the other thing, I'm trying to think what you do in the morning as you're getting ready for work. You get dressed and you shower, and it got kind of creepy there, didn't it? I didn't intend for it to. But you're running around the house, getting ready, the kids getting ready, and the husband's making you lunch for you.
Oh,
and
how sweet.
Right? That's how it is in my world. I don't have a wife, but
or a husband,
but the husband's making you lunch and he's getting the kids ready and all that stuff. But if you pop up Wake Up Columbia on YouTube on your smart TV, then you can kind of hear it throughout the house. The kids have an idea of what's happening in the news, and it's fun stuff. And today they'd be getting a buttload of dad jokes today, which, by the way, kudos to Bobby, who texted us a dad joke. Now, I didn't understand it. I felt much better when I learned that Hannah didn't understand it.
Yeah, we did have listener Dawn call in and explain it to me.
Yeah.
So I have that if you need it, if you need the explanation.
Well, and we have a new Wake Up Columbia family member.
That's like 5 this morning?
Man, thank you. And it's from a young lady by the name of Morgan, and she has a very unique spelling, and I love it because it's a more accurate spelling. But she was trying to help us out, as were a lot of other things. And by the way, if I'm not responding to texts this morning, I can't keep up. Stephanie Bell, we kind of usually tag team this whenever we're getting a bunch of texts, but we can't.
Let's be honest, Stephanie does a lot of it.
No, I do most of it. I do. I respond to most of them. And if I can't do it, I'll say, hey, Stephanie, can you get these? But yeah, so I respond to probably 99% of text.
So then why are you struggling this morning?
Because that's how many texts we have had. I mean, we're...
You're just using Stephanie not being here as an excuse for your struggle.
No, I mean, we are inundated with texts on dad jokes, what people are feeling good about. So Morgan says, so the joke was... 2 guys walk into a bar. The third one ducked. And I didn't get it. And then I didn't feel bad about not getting it because Hannah didn't get it either. So let's try it this way. Listen, phrasing, it's everything. So here it is. 2 guys walked into a bar. The third guy ducked underneath. That makes sense. Morgan, Bobby, and everybody else who's trying to straighten us out on that, thanks so much. Coming up, Fox News is here. Joe's out selling more snake oil. Where in the country is he selling a snake oil? They have that for you. Brian Hauswirth is here. Some things you might want to know heading into the big homecoming weekend at Mizzou. And then we're going to be nominating. We can't pick winners and losers because people get triggered. We're going to be nominating winners and losers of the week. Hannah and I will do that at 8:35 on 93.9 The Eagle. I have your ABC 17 storm track forecast. Sunny, 83 today. It's about perfect to kick off the festivities this weekend. 63 tonight. So maybe early in the morning, 9 o'clock parade start time, maybe a little chilly, but otherwise up to 90 by kickoff. Sunday, 88 right now, 61. Weather brought to you by Callaway Bank, a dedicated customer care team that you can text or call 7 days a week. Callaway Bank is with you for the moments that matter.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The monthly report from the Labor Department does not show a lot of job growth.
The economy added 194,000 in September. The unemployment rate fell by 0.4% to 4.8%. Average hourly earnings year over year is up 4.6%. Wages are increasing, but inflation going faster than wages in this report.
Edward Lawrence with Fox Business. Congress will put off a possible debt default until at least December by increasing the nation's borrowing limit.
What is needed now is a long-term solution, so we don't go through this risky drama every few months.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. 11 Republicans voted with Democrats to allow the Senate vote. Some others, including Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, are not happy about that.
We made a promise for 2 months that we would make them do it without our help, and we folded, and I hate that.
Senator Graham with Fox's Sean Hannity. America's listening to Fox News.
And now, award-winning news coverage with Brian Hauswirth on 93.9 The Eagle and 93.9theeagle.com.
93.9 The Eagle News Time with Robinson's Cleaners. It is 8:31. Robinson saves you time. 63 our current temperature in Columbia at 62 degrees. In Jefferson City. Good morning, everyone. On this Friday, thousands of people will be in downtown Columbia for tomorrow's big Mizzou homecoming parade. It'll start at 9 near Tiger Avenue in Rollins. It will wind through downtown. It will end on Cherry Street. It goes through Broadway as well and on Broadway. You're urged to wear your best black and gold attire. My colleagues, Branden Rathert and Stephanie Bell here from Wake Up Columbia will be your MCs for the parade tomorrow morning. Again, it starts at 9. Mizzou consistently has been recognized for having one of the largest and longest homecoming celebrations in the nation. Mizzou's homecoming dates back to 1911. Also in Jefferson City, Lincoln University will be having their homecoming activities over the weekend. Their parade is also set for 9 a.m. tomorrow in the capital city. The Sid Larson murals will be removed soon from the Boone County Courthouse in Columbia after county commissioners voted on Thursday 2-0 to move them to a secure location. A frustrated presiding commissioner, Dan Atwell, abstained from the final vote because it did not include his language about the history of the mural's 1994 creation. He says they were created in 1994 during the renovation of the courthouse with the cooperation of then Judge Frank Conley, the State Historical Society director, others as well. Former Judge Gary Oxenhandler led the effort to remove the murals. He testified Thursday he is fine with adding language, saying the murals were welcomed in 1994, but the times have changed. That language did not make it into the final proposal that passed yesterday. Capitol Police in Jefferson City are warning you this morning about scammers. They're spoofing numbers to make it appear that Capitol Police are calling you.
They're urging you to not answer calls from unknown numbers and to never provide your Social Security number or credit card numbers to people who call you. Don Luzader, 93.9 The Eagle.
Missouri's governor describes the 2021 State Fair in Sedalia as a success, saying more than 330,000 people attended the fair to celebrate agriculture. The August numbers coming just 1 year after the 2020 fair was canceled and a youth livestock-only fair was held. Governor Parson says there were more than 23,000 show entries at this year's fair. He also notes more than 203,000 meals were packed at the fair for feeding Missouri. MU Healthcare will be conducting a Sunday drive-through flu shot clinic that will be going on in Fulton. Sunday's event, 10 to 2, Fulton Family Health Fairway. It's for everyone that is ages 6 months and older. You'll need to bring a mask and wear it when interacting with staff. MU Healthcare will be collecting your insurance information. They will bill the insurance for the flu shot. And we have talked this morning on Wake Up Columbia about all the activities going on in both downtown Columbia with Mizzou's homecoming and also Jefferson City with Lincoln. Also this weekend is the weekend of the Hartsburg Pumpkin Festival. Thousands of people will be in the community. There are only about 103 people who live in Hartsburg. The parade for that event will start tomorrow morning at 9. The activities will take place both days from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. in Hartsburg, which is in southern Boone County. 93.9 The Eagle News is brought to you live by Hemi Construction. Hemi Construction, homes and lots in the southwest neighborhoods of Chapel Hill Meadows, Nursery Heights, and Creek's Edge. 93.9 The Eagle News Time, 8:35. In sports, the Missouri Tigers will play the North Texas Mean Green tomorrow afternoon. Homecoming at Faurot Field. They'll kick it off just after 3 o'clock. We're on the radio with the Central Bank Tiger Radio Network right around 1 on KCMQ and also KTGR. Tigers 2-3 coming off the rough loss to Tennessee 62-24. North Texas plays in Conference USA. They're 1-3. Seth Luttrell is their coach. North Texas' most famous alum, NFL Hall of Famer Mean Joe Green. He acquired that name because he played at North Texas, which again is in Conference USA. 93.9, the Eagle News Time is 8:35.
Eagle Eye Traffic.
And our traffic check, midmohires.com. Local companies looking for local people. Visit midmohires.com. Find a job or to post your job opening today. Just a reminder that starting here in about 24 minutes, Rock Quarry Road. They've already been setting up equipment. That work will actually start on Rock Quarry Road to remove the vegetation around corners and up and down that road at about 9. But they've got tree removing equipment. They've got a lot of other equipment and personnel up and down the road as well. They started setting up at 8. Avoid that area if at all possible. That work expected to take all day today. More team coverage in less than 30 minutes and breaking news immediately. I'm Brian Hauswirth, 93.9 The Eagle.
The new rule, the only time there should be 2 national anthems is when the other team is from Canada.
Bill Maher, I'm going to nominate as one of our winners of the week. As a matter of fact, we changed this whole thing because somebody got triggered. We were playing audio of Bill Maher, who's always been a brilliant comedian. You might disagree with his politics. The guy is changing. Anyhow, I don't know, 2 months ago we played some audio, and I don't even remember what it was from, but it was very funny, and it was from a conservative point of view. And somebody called and said, hey, I can't believe you're playing Bill Maher. He picks winners and losers, and he's leftist. Rah, rah, rah. And I said, have you watched Bill Maher recently? No. Well, you sound a little triggered by the fact that I'm playing it. So we nominate winners and losers 8:35 most Fridays for not running behind. Not only do we run behind like in each hour, we run behind this thing we've been wanting to do with you for a month now, Hannah. Meet Brian Hauswirth.
Something like that.
Yeah, we've had it on the show clock for like a month. Hey, Friday, and we'll talk about it on Thursday. Let's meet Brian Hauswirth. Let's just do a Q&A session with Mr. Hauswirth. So we're about a month late on that. So.
Well, and what did you tell me this morning when I doubted that it would happen?
I wrote it. It's on the show clock. It's on the clock.
I wrote it down.
It's on the clock. It's on the clock. And we haven't had time to get to that either. So, because that guy was offended that we were playing Bill Maher because we were picking winners and losers, and that's what he said. Bill Maher picks winners and losers. I'm like, dude, are you hearing what he said? He's agreeing with you. Yeah, but he picks winners and losers. I'm like, are you watching him? Do you know where his politics are now? No, I haven't watched him in Oh, okay. So in other words, you don't know what you're talking about because you haven't watched him in years. You just told me that. So we're not going to pick winners and losers. We're going to nominate winners and losers. Is everybody comfortable with that? Hannah?
Sure.
Are you comfortable with that? I love that somebody said a cartoon. We were talking about the people that get offended and stuff. I said, listen, this whole thing, like with the courthouse mural, you got these people that wanted these taken down. Don't let it get you down. You know what? Just don't. And some of this stuff, you treat them like you would, when your child is being petulant in public. You ignore. That's the best thing you can do for your kid. All right. Speaking from my experience, best thing we ever started doing was not caving in to little Trevor's tantrums.
Does that work for man children too?
I bet it would.
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind for Branden this weekend. Try that.
That's not who I was thinking of.
Just ignore and see what happens. And that's how this should be treated. The people that oh my God, we want We don't want it hanging up in a courtroom in Boone County, but we want to teach it in schools. Ignore them and treat them like petulant little children. But somebody said a cartoon, Family Circus, which is a great old newspaper cartoon. I don't know if there's such thing as newspapers anymore. I know there's newspaper websites, but I don't know if there's newspapers anymore, like paper. Hannah, you know what paper is? Like a newspaper. You ever seen a newspaper, Hannah?
Yes.
There is a cartoon in there. You ever seen cartoons in a newspaper? Anyhow, there's far
memes, right?
Yeah, actually, memes. That's a good way of the one-panel cartoons, the original meme. Yeah. Family Circus, and the dad's looking at the little kid and saying he wants cookie, and he's got the thing of cookies. He says, okay, but what's the magic word? And the little kid is saying, I'm offended. That's the magic word. I love it. But I want to nominate this dude as one of our winners. By the way, it's Wake Up Columbia. Did I say hello to Brian?
Good morning.
Did I say hello to Hannah?
Good morning.
I'm Branden Rathert. Something we can do for you, 874-9390. Dad jokes. Brad Tregnago usually joins us on Fridays, talks about Mizzou football, and he's promised dad jokes at the end of all of his visits. And bad signal today, and people started, and for an hour now, we've been doing dad jokes. Before we get into winners and losers, want to highlight
Squirrel.
Doc.
Squirrel.
I want to nominate. So we're not picking winners and losers. I want to nominate Billy. Billy sends a text this morning. He's a little bummed out. He has just on a Feel Good Friday. He texted me and said, "Hey man, I just found out I'm colorblind. It just hit me out of the purple."
Wow.
Didn't see that one coming.
Sure didn't. Okay, we are nominating winners and losers. I am absolutely nominating this reporter and this whole thing that this has become.
You can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Branden. You told me you were...
So as a NASCAR driver wins a race Saturday, the crowd, as we're seeing stadiums all across America, people saying, let's, or Biden, F off Biden. So the reporter, who, by the way, and it was funny because I'm watching Ted Cruz. You talk about, and I am an old white guy, but Ted Cruz completely misses it. He was criticizing this reporter, and she said it was fake news, and that's how the media does. No, Ted, she was actually being incredibly professional and fairly humorous. She knew what the crowd was saying. Do you think she was going to say, and as you can hear, the crowd is saying Joe Biden? She's not going to say that. She, I think, from a journalistic point of view, handled it well.
She did.
Think about this from a journalist point of view, everything that's happening at that point in time.
And here's the other thing is when you're trying to do a live interview, and those are always hard because you do have usually a producer, I would think, in your ear at that point. It's hard to hear everything they're saying. It can distract you, and you're trying to focus on your next question. You're trying to listen to what the person you're interviewing is saying so you can follow up. And it's possible she didn't hear it, but either way, it may have been misunderstood. But even if she did, I think she handled it fine. I really do, and I don't understand the criticism because you're in a no-win situation.
Ted Cruz doesn't understand the criticism either. He's an old white dude yelling at kids to get off the front of his lawn. So it's become a thing. You can buy T-shirts. There are explainers on the internet. Okay, what does "Let's Go Branden" mean? What does it mean? So in other words, like if you hear somebody chant M-I-Z, you don't say "Let's go Branden." Don't do that. But now it's become a thing. As a matter of fact, a couple being interviewed on Fox yesterday live.
It's my America. It's a real station telling the real truth every day. And by the way, let's go, Branden. Okay, all right.
So it's a way to voice displeasure at anything. More specifically, the current president, who, by the way, we have to nominate as one of our losers of the week.
My friends in the other team have no problem giving billionaires and millionaires gigantic tax breaks.
Snake oil salesman.
This is a tax cut.
Snake oil salesman.
You know, what it does is...
Nominate him. And anybody you want to nominate, Hannah? Winners?
Well, I was going to tag team off of yours, and then I have a separate one. Also, the fake White House set for President Biden's booster shot. That was across the street from the actual White House.
They've got a studio set up, and apparently it has something to do because he can read a special teleprompter, so to make sure that he is not going off script or something like that.
But the other nomination I have for Losers of the Week is actually you.
Okay.
I don't even know if you know that you did this or not.
What did I did?
You broke one of the cardinal rules of working in an office, and that's don't reply all to company emails.
Oh.
You replied all to an email
That should have been
this
specific.
morning that was really just had to go to one person. So there's going to be lots of people in the office upset with you today.
All right. I'll get used to it. I'm sorry.
That's I did that a couple months ago on accident, and it's the worst feeling knowing that everyone in the office knows that you messed up.
Yeah, ouch, sorry. One of the other folks that I would like to nominate for winners of the week, Kawasaki, for coming to Boonville. Pushing, getting close to 300 new jobs are going to be created. So I think the folks in Boonville who really went out, because I guess they have a facility somewhere in the St. Louis area, and so they were looking at a 300-mile radius, and they chose right here in mid-Missouri. So I want to make sure that we nominate the folks from the business leaders in Boonville that helped make that happen. I just think that is incredible work. As a matter of fact, this is Vice President Mike Boyle on ABC 17.
As a city, this will provide opportunity for growth, for rising incomes. Manufacturing has a multiplier effect. We provide jobs. We also purchase many products and services from the community, so that will create more jobs beyond just what we provide here in the plant. Jobs will multiply because of what we do here.
So there you have it, some of our winners and loser nominations of the week. More dad jokes coming up, and I think there's a couple, maybe tie up some loose ends for our nominations for winners and losers of the week. It's a feel-good Then I've got a car that's almost as old as Hannah, but if you were to drive it, even if you were to look at it, you wouldn't know it because I've been taking it to Gap's Automotive Repair Shop for several years now. They do good work. They say, hey, if you want to keep it going, here's what you do. And I want to tell you the story about Gus and Paula. So Gus, he was, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and got out of mechanic school and went to his first job down in the Arizona desert. And shows up with his toolbox and everything, and he's eager to please the new bosses, wants to show everybody how hard he can work. And he was supposed to replace, somebody thought they had an issue with a part, and the boss said, well, here's what you do. Just paint over it, make it look new, because they don't need the new part, but then charge them for a new part. And this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid, Gus, who now owns Gap's Automotive Repair Shop with Paula, said, no, I'm not doing that. That's not why I got into this. Put his ball cap on, grabbed his toolbox, and left, and came to Gap's Automotive Repair Shop. You should check them out. Gap's Automotive Repair Shop. You'll find them on Vandiver in Columbia.
creating a new generation of talk show listeners. Hot Talk 93.9, The Eagle.
The Attorney General put the FBI on the case. So does the administration agree that parents upset about their kids' curriculums could be considered domestic terrorists?
Well, let me unravel this a little bit.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Nominated for one of our losers of the week this morning on 93.9 The Eagle. Wake up, Columbia. I am Branden Rathert. Thank you for being here this morning. And I want to remind you, if you texted us this morning because of the sheer number of texts that we got this morning, please know that I have read and shared them on air. Just couldn't respond. A couple of dad jokes before we get into nominating another loser, and I think one more winner that we would like to nominate for the week. Some more dad jokes. And this happened, Brad Tregnago, a longtime member of the Wake Up Columbia family, now doing Mizzou football and, of course, Mizzou women's basketball, doing what he loves, and we love it when he comes on Fridays and talks Mizzou football, because he always has, little interesting nuggets that you don't read in the news about players and everything. And he promised a dad joke, lost him. Cell phone signal was just super bad this morning. So anyhow, you got our backs for an hour and a half now, man, with dad jokes, some phenomenal ones. One of our listeners says, you know what happens? I'm going to mess this up. I better go on to the next one.
Put your readers on.
All right. Do you have any good ones you can use to kill time while I'm trying to find my place here?
What does a nosy pepper do?
What does a nosy pepper do?
Get jalapeno business.
Oh, gosh. I like that one. What do you get when a magician loses his magic? You get Ian. I had asked to explain it to me, too. When a magician...
Oh, like the spelling?
The spelling,
okay.
Ian, I-A-N, you lose the magic.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't understand it. It had to be explained to me, but I got it now.
How does NASA prepare for their company parties?
How?
They plan it.
And that's a lot of what we're getting, and I just I love this stuff. Was going to see Tony, the yodeling Shetland pony, this weekend, but he had a sore throat and had to cancel because he was a little hoarse. Yeah, love that one. Never gets old. I have a chicken that knows math. He's a math-ma-chicken. Not a dad joke. This is from Paul. He's, I think, another one of my friendly antagonists.
Friendly neighborhood troll.
Yeah, but kind of in a nicer way than Gary the conspiracy theory dude. Who Gary has sent some very nice text this morning. Childish drivel, referencing what we were covering here on the show this morning. And listen, we're wearing red on Fridays, and there's a reason we wear red.
We wear red to remember everyone deployed.
And we would encourage you to do the same when you get out and go about. Maybe you can wear red. And if you consider that childish drivel, that's on you, bud. Then we were talking about how you can now watch on YouTube, which is really cool. You can pop YouTube up on your smart TV and listen while you're getting ready. In the morning, kids can get educated and all that good stuff. Listening is bad enough. Watching is utterly hideous.
Like I said earlier, I mean, we chose radio for a reason, right? We have faces for radio.
Paul says he has my back. He says, hey, Brandon, I stuck up for you. You always talk about how you have the Wake Up Columbia family's back. He said, I had your back the other day. And I said, oh, how? And he said, we were talking about your show in line at a checkout stand at a gas station on Broadway. And for some reason, your show came up and somebody said that you eat crap sandwiches. And he said, and I stuck up for you. I said, no, he doesn't. He doesn't like bread. Thank you, Paul. Okay, let's leave by nominating a winner of the week. An NBA player, Jonathan Isaac, is gone viral because he's standing up for choice when it comes to your health decision
for themselves at the end of the day. And I believe that we're entering a period of time where the government is setting a precedent that in light of any emergency, your personal autonomy, your religious freedom, and honestly, your freedom as a whole becomes negotiable.
sticking up for freedom, while a lot of other NBA players, if they're not encouraging people to get vaccinated, they're being hammered. They're just being relentlessly tormented by, well, you should be doing this. He's saying, hey, how about we encourage, instead of encouraging people to get vaccinated, let's encourage people to practice freedom of choice.